Texas Tech coach Mike Leach always enjoys a pregame cup of coffee. No mad scientist can work without a jolt of caffeine. For guard Brandon Carter, his workday starts by spiking his hair like his favorite wrestler. But there's a Red Raider alert tonight. Oklahoma quarterback Sam Bradford puts points on the scoreboard like a pinball wizard. The show is about to start. Will you get a load of this team? Not in your or even their wildest dreams. Were the Texas Tech Red Raiders ever in this position at this point in the season? Second in the polls, with a real shot at a Big 12 title, and maybe more, much more, in the BCS to come. But across the line in prime time is perennial powerhouse Oklahoma, familiar with success and full of pride. With Heisman Trophy contenders all over the field, Harrell and Crabtree for Tech, Bradford for the Sooners. They could be putting up some mighty big numbers here in Norman tonight. Number 2, Texas Tech. Number 5, Oklahoma. On Saturday Night Football. You are looking live at Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman. Two teams from the Big 12 South face off with everything at stake. Conference championship implications and also national championship hopes ride on Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines. Tonight, the number 2 Red Raiders storm into Norman with the nation's longest winning streak, and they face the explosive offense of number 5, Oklahoma. Sellout crowd on hand. The BCS standings. Texas Tech taking dead aim at Miami in the BCS championship game. Oklahoma hopes to climb aboard with a big win here tonight. So welcome everybody to Kirk Herbstreit. I'm Brent Musburger. Pleasure to have you along with us. Kirk got a little noisy. There's some barking down there on the field now.
A little chippy. You have Oklahoma who's saying, hey, nobody comes into our house. Nobody knocks us off. We're 59-2 under Bob Stoops, and Texas Tech is saying, this is our year. We have the leadership. We're ready to do it.
Two wonderful quarterbacks in this game.
Well, we've seen some great quarterback play in the Big 12, but it's not going to get much better than this. Graham Harrell, the hottest quarterback in the nation right now, and Sam Bradford. You can see the numbers. It's amazing to watch these guys execute. If they have time to throw, they'll both have big nights. Ultimately, Brent, it's not just deciding who might get a chance to get to Kansas City in a Big 12 championship, maybe who ultimately takes their team to the national championship.
One of the great traditions of Oklahoma football, the Sooner Schooner. You ride aboard. Hop on, everybody. Going to be a great night. Weather beautiful for a football game.
That was cool, man.
Images leading up to this game. The Sooners all fired up. The arrival of Graham Harrell of Texas Tech enjoying the moment. A little barking going on. Everybody all fired up.
The atmosphere is going to be crazy. We got a reputation that we got to keep up, and people are going to try to, throw us down.
They stepped their game up to ours, so we got to just match it. So that's a rivalry now.
We've played in the biggest 2 games in Texas Tech history the past 2 weeks.
Try to stop it, folks. Just try to stop it.
Everything that we've gained, the success that we have now, that's all at stake.
Kind of have a sour taste because they put it on us last year, no doubt about it.
The Red Raiders have knocked off the Oklahoma Sooners.
It's frustrating to look back and know that, they took us out the national title hunt last year.
Payback. Payback.
You are looking live at a crowd of 82,112 jammed into Memorial Stadium and ready for the showdown between Texas Tech and Oklahoma. Mike Leach won the toss, no deferring. He'll take the ball. He'll be matched against a man he once worked for, Bob Stoops. When Stoops came to Oklahoma, Leach was his offensive coordinator. Stoops telling us, I know his offense as well as he does. We're about to find out. Back in 1999, working side by side for 1 year, Stoops knew that Leach understood Hal Mummy's high-powered offense at Kentucky when he was an assistant there and Stoops was down at Gainesville with the Gators, so he brought him out. The next is history, and Leach does not have a good record here in Norman, as many of you are aware. Our journey begins. Lewis back deep. And Lewis is down at the 32-yard line, and Kirk, so many impact players for these teams.
Yeah, we've seen Texas Tech really emerge their last two games. Michael Crabtree, arguably the top player in all of college football. Number 5 has to have a big game tonight. Edward Britton on the backside. Texas Tech does a good job of finding him one-on-one. And then the two running backs, Shannon Woods, the leader, the senior. He had a huge game against Oklahoma State. And a more physical back and a great receiver in his own right, Baron Batch, number 25.
Harrell hands it off on first down for a couple of yards with Shannon Woods, and here is Graham Harrell. His numbers are just unbelievable, Kirk.
Veteran quarterback, 37th career start tonight, played a lot of football, and because of that, he understands his offense, able to recognize defenses, make quick decisions, and throw an accurate ball. If you don't get pressure on Graham Harrell, you're in for a long night.
His first pass. Stands tall in the pocket. 1st and 10 as he snapped it off that time beautifully to Lyle Leong, the sophomore from Abilene.
What a great job here early in this game. It's so important for Texas Tech to start out fast and have some confidence, showing great patience. Comes off Leong originally, looks to the right, and then comes back to him again, and a nice job of giving him enough time there by the offensive line.
He'll come again. Flair. Here's Woods. Spins for a couple of yards.
The great thing, Brent, about this game is Mike Leach, because he worked with Bob Stoops, there's such a familiarity from Oklahoma's side of the football defensively in studying and understand. Bob Stoops, as much as any coach in the Big 12, understands how to stop the Texas Tech offense. Now it's a matter of going out and executing it and trying to do it.
Throwing for a living. And read beautifully that time by the defense, Austin Box, the redshirt freshman linebacker from Enid, Oklahoma, coming off an injury, forced to fill in for Reynolds in the middle, and what a play by the youngster.
Well, he has gotten better and better, obviously, through game experience, has been forced in, as you mentioned, because of the injury to Reynolds, the leader, and has shown a lot of confidence in the last 2 weeks. He feels he's ready to play tonight against Tech.
Brent Venables stressed all week that the linebackers had to slash on the inside, get to that outside passing game that Texas Tech likes so much. Show blitz. Try to get there. Influence that pass. Incomplete. And it goes to 4th down.
Brent, you indicated it. What a great job of getting Texas Tech here early in this game to 3rd and long, and then disguising and then bringing pressure at the last second off from the left. The linebacker, Clayton, is able to get in, and that's what it's all about. How do you stop Graham Harrell? You get him into 3rd and long, you get pressure. Clayton brings the pressure, gets the hand up, and knocks the ball down.
So here's somebody, Jonathan LaCour. We don't see him very often. He did not punt once, not once, against Oklahoma State. Fielded on the 22 by Ryan Broyles. And now we'll see Sam Bradford. And how about Bradford's impact play?
Well, Brett, for all the talk about Bradford and the fact that he's their star, it starts with the running game. Big physical offensive line tonight from Oklahoma. DeMarco Murray feeling more and more like the old DeMarco Murray because of the health. Jermaine Grisham, one of the top tight ends in college football. Look for them to try to match him up against the linebackers, and a great group of wide receivers led by number 9, Joaquin Iglesias, who again has the ability to make you pay in a hurry if you leave him alone.
Up-tempo Oklahoma offense. Defensive end might have jumped. We'll see how they sort that out as he goes to Grisham with the first pass of the game for 10 yards. It looked like the defensive lineman influenced the offensive line, but let's see how the officiating crew sorts it out.
Offside. Defense number 84. Result of play, defenders decline. Second down.
Brandon Williams trying to get a head start there on Phil Lodeholt, the left tackle. It's an advantage of quickness for Williams, and he tried to jump the count.
Murray very deep in that eye, and again that's a false start. That is against Oklahoma.
False start. Offense number 18. 5-yard penalty.
That's Grisham, the tight end. Bob asking for clarification. Now, frequently, tight end is just a term with Grisham. He'll flex way off the line, folks, and really be one of their wide receivers. Now Murray with a big hole. He's got great speed to midfield. Sooners moving the first time they handle the ball.
Great job by Brandon Walker, the right guard. And I just talked about the ability of this offensive line. You talk about a hole. Brandon Walker, the right guard, just took the Texas Tech defensive lineman and just pushed him 5 yards to the outside, opening things up.
Sticking on the ground. Breaking off the first hit, but picking up only a couple of yards again is DeMarco Murray, the sophomore from Las Vegas.
Sam Bradford, he has the poise of a fifth-year senior, only a sophomore. Great anticipation, great confidence, and much like Graham Harrell, great understanding of his offense, and he makes quick decisions.
2nd and 8, an option look with Murray still handling for another first down, breaking daylight across the 25-yard line. Out of bounds around the 22-yard line, and it is the Sooner running game of Bob Stoops that has the Red Raiders in retreat. 25 yards.
A great block there by Grisham to seal the inside from Marlon Williams. And then when you're a safety against this offense, you've got to be able to make a tackle in the open field. And that time Charbonnet misses an open field tackle and allows Murray to get downfield.
The officials have a stoppage of play because someone on the gang across the way was shaken up on that play, so we have an official's timeout.
Mike Leach knows the importance of starting fast against Oklahoma. They have dominated opponents in the first quarter, outscoring them 201-27. With all this hype playing on the road, Tech needs to start fast.
They come back the other way with Chris Brown carrying the ball for the first time. He's the backup running back, and he too is a talent. He's out of Alexandria, Louisiana.
Last time we saw Oklahoma, they were in Dallas against the Texas Longhorns. They did not run the football very well that night.
Coming back again with Brown, and he's going to be thrown down by Darcel McBath, the free safety.
They didn't run the ball well against Texas, but in the last 4 games, they've gone back to that. They have really been able to establish the run game and have tremendous balance. You see 250 yards a game in their last 4 outings.
Heupel and Gundy flashing the signal out to Bradford. One is hot and one's down. Kevin Wilson calling the plays. Bradford is back, has all day. Throws in underneath to Grisham. Grisham battles to the 2-yard line. A 1st and goal on their opening drive after stopping the Tech attack.
Well, Brian Duncan is going to go and drop on Broyles. Once he drops back, it opens it up underneath, and a huge hole in the Texas Tech defense, and another great read there by Bradford.
Murray is back in as the I-back. Matt Clapp is the lead fullback. Murray dives in zone. The linesman's marking it. Very close, but the knee touching the ground, the official rules, and you'll see how close right there. Take a look at this.
Good push.
And
He's
good
down.
call.
Great call.
They could come right back with it. Using Matt Clapp, the junior.
Now, Texas Tech.
And the Red Raiders defense calls a timeout here as you take another look at this play, and you will see clearly that Murray's knee is down right there, and that is the spot, and that is an excellent call. Still, Oklahoma favored to put 6 on the board when you come back. Second and goal, and you talk about a team that has been high scoring in the opening quarter. Oklahoma with 201 points. That's more than about 18 teams overall, and Murray is stopped. Stood up beautifully that time. Terrific play by Victor Hunter.
Wow. A physical play. I was ready to, well, they're up 6-0, and Victor Hunter steps up, gets lower, and drills DeMarco Murray short of the goal line.
Third down and goal. The goal line defense of McNeil hurries into position. They're going to go wide with Murray for the first touchdown of the game. Step him outside to the right, and DeMarco Murray in with the evening's first touchdown. Jimmy Stevens to attempt the extra point. Redshirt freshman from Oklahoma City. So our first score of the evening. But the only thing I can guarantee is it won't be the last.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. Nissan. When you need it most, Nissan delivers. And Samsung Mobile. Proud sponsor of ESPN Rivalry Week.
We are back, and one thing to remember about Oklahoma kicking off, this has been one of the few weak spots with the Sooners this year. They have allowed 3 kickoffs to be returned for touchdowns, most notably that one by Shipley in the Texas-Oklahoma showdown in Dallas. So coverage, a point of emphasis for Stoops, and this will be Wall, the defensive back, from the 5-yard line for the Red Raiders. Much better coverage. Back to the score, Herbie.
Yeah, we're at the third down and goal. Oklahoma going behind the right side here. Trent Williams, the right tackle, and Eldridge, the tight end, opens it up very easily here for the tailback, DeMarco Murray. But look at the blocks on the right side, and look how physical this Oklahoma front line can be, putting on the finishing touches of a 10-play drive and a lot of up-tempo, no huddle, which we've seen all year from Oklahoma.
After the play ended, personal foul. Oklahoma on the bench. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Stoops will be unhappy about this. Let's take a look and see if we can see it over there.
You got to control your emotions in a game like this. You've got Wall just trying to get back.
Sooner pushed him.
Yep,
Not
a little bit of pushing.
not
It's just,
hard.
no.
It's right in front of the officials.
Being on the field before the game, I think their concern is trying to take control of this
They're not
game.
going to indict the young man, but he should know better. How's that?
Yep.
Okay. 7-0 now. The Sooners with the lead, and Graham Harrell must get Michael Crabtree involved early. You know how it is. When a big-time receiver gets shut down for a long period of time, it begins to affect both sides mentally.
Got delay a game here, I believe, in Texas Tech. It's a little different on the road compared to being in Lubbock.
Prior to the snap, delay a game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They've been at home. Things have been a lot easier. The execution, the pressure, communication. Now they're on the road in a place they have struggled traditionally under Mike Leach.
There's Crabtree to the right, wearing number 5. Another flag. Prior to the snap.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 17. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Lewis.
Last thing that Mike Leach and his group can afford to do, especially early in this game, is dig themselves a huge hole. You talked about the numbers in the first quarter. Oklahoma is too good to get behind by a lot of points and then have to come back.
First and 20. Complete. There is Crabtree. His first catch of the night. Let's check in with our Lisa Salters. Lisa, first of all, congratulations on your alma mater, Penn State, going to the Rose Bowl.
That's right, Brent. Thank you. But I asked Oklahoma safety Nick Harris earlier in the week what they were going to do to try to slow down Graham Harrell. He said, I was just telling my guys it's not going to take a Superman effort, just guys playing hard for the entire game. I said, everyone has said that. Texas, Oklahoma State. He said, yeah, but we're Oklahoma's defense. We'll do whatever, even if we have to call his mom. Right?
Okay.
Slips one through to Detron Lewis, the sophomore from College Station.
Brett, you always hear coaches talking about pocket awareness. Watch number 6 here. Feel his way around in the pocket and then find the window and deliver the football. Great job by Graham Harrell, feeling his way and finding his open receiver.
Baron Batch and Shannon Woods, both of the running backs. Batch is 25. Stephen Hamby is his son. This is Woods. He thought he saw something, but the Sooners jumped it, and Austin Box was in on that tackle. And right now, let's check in with Matt Weiner with our first update of the night. Matt.
Thanks, and hi, everyone. I'm here all throughout your game to let you know what's happening, beginning with this Taco Bell update. Utah is virtually guaranteed a spot in the BCS Bowl with a win tonight over rival BYU, but this is Max Hall with the touchdown run there. The Cougars cut the Utes' lead to 3 in the Holy War.
And here it is 7-0 Oklahoma, and Harrell going sideline, and let's see if he incomplete. It is waved off. Coverage was Nick Harris, their big, strong safety, coming over on Swindell.
Brent, I think he got his foot down. Watch the left foot come down. Swindell 11. He catches the football. Watch his left foot. It's down. They're definitely going to take another look at this. It's a matter
he maintains possession.
Exactly.
Now.
Did he juggle the ball at all? Definitely going to take a peek. The foot is down, and it's just going to come down to if there's an angle that shows. There's a great angle right there. I think looks like he has control of the football. Oh, there at the end.
Line judge was running over to take a look at him when he was out of bounds, and there he is right there.
The ball came loose after his body landed out of bounds.
The field, the player had a foot down inbounds, but did not maintain control to clear to the ground.
So I think he had control, and then when he came down, Brent, his body hit the ground and the ball came out.
It squirted free pretty quickly as he came back down. You could see at that particular replay, it was squirting out of his grab. The line judge, ashing right in it, had a good view, and that's what instant replay says.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass.
Has to maintain possession there.
3rd down and 10. The little guy, Eric Morris, has yet to catch his first pass. he works those underneath routes beautifully.
Last third down, they brought a lot of pressure, disguised it, and came late. Let's see what they do this time on 3rd and long.
Harris has crept up, number 5, and now he drops back, and they come from the other side with a blitz, trying to confuse him. Beal was there. Harrell gets it off complete, but well short. Detron Lewis, and that was Jeremy Beal, the sophomore. And as a rush defensive end, he has played very well the last couple of weeks.
Well, Brent, even though they didn't get a sack, the pressure coming late creates enough confusion. And watch Graham Harrell this time. Has some happy feet, throwing off his back foot. Not able to sit in there and be able to throw the football with any authority. They're creating hesitation and doubt right now, especially on 3rd down for Texas Tech.
Here's his second punt. Broyles is back deep again. A little dangerous there, and he's down around the 19-yard line. So we'll take a break. Oklahoma has already scored once. They lead by 7. You're watching Saturday Night Football on ABC.
Well, I took a lot of heat when I predicted that he was going to beat Texas. And he beat Texas. Can you see that? He really beat them. A lot of heat, though. It wasn't easy. I have a lot of friends in Texas. I have a lot of big fans from Texas. And, man, they gave it to me hard. Now I'm going to make another prediction. He's going to beat Oklahoma. And he's going to send me another ball just like this one because I like collecting them. But, Coach, you're going to be a wealthy man after this season. Everybody wants you.
Guess what, Donald? You've just ticked off a few folks in Oklahoma.
That's right.
So there is the coach, Mike Leach. Rumors swirling where he'll go. If nothing else, if he stays at Lubbock, he's going to get a lot more money. Here is Murray. He's off to a big-time start here tonight. He had 48 yards and a touchdown on the opening drive of this game. Reed making the stop, and he starts off the series again.
If you remember a couple weeks ago when Oklahoma State played Texas Tech, I talked about the depth of the safeties and how I was surprised how deep they were considering Oklahoma State wants to run the football. Same thing tonight.
Fast tempo offense. Slap it to the outside. Quentin Chaney. It's his first opportunity, but we have another penalty, and this has been a penalty-marred start.
Chop block. 7. Offense. Half a distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
Stoops cannot be happy with the penalties. Likes the fact that he scored on the first series.
Yep.
Likes the way his defense has stopped Leach in 2 consecutive series, he and Harrell. I remember now, Stoops believes he knows this offense. We're talking about Texas Tech now, as well as Leach does. And as you look at the records through the years, you would tend to agree with Bob. Brent Venables now the defensive coordinator. And so far tonight, in 2 series, they've done a fine job against Graham Harrell. First and 25. They'll come in underneath and get a few back. That's Chaney. Quentin Chaney's a senior. He's from nearby Tulsa.
Chaney's done a nice job these last 4 games with the entry to Manuel Johnson, stepping up and being a great leader as a senior. 14 receptions in the last 4 games with Manny Johnson injured.
2nd and 16, and Bradford going to go deep on the far side. Incomplete. He overthrew Joaquin Iglesias. Coverage that time by Jamar Wall.
Jamar Wall left alone on the outside that time. Tough challenge to match up with Iglesias because of his speed, but Wall, the best corner that Texas Tech has, the experience that he has, that he brings to the table, allows him to be out there isolated one-on-one on an island. Big 3rd down here for Oklahoma.
See if Kevin Wilson settles for some underneath, or if they strike and try to pick it all up. 3rd and 16. He's got plenty of time. Diving for the ball was Johnson.
Well, this time Manny Johnson just falls down. I mean, he's got to match up. L.A. Reid, pretty good coverage there. The ball is thrown. Great anticipation, actually, by Sam Bradford. And if he stays on his feet, he's got a real shot of making that catch and being very close to the first down.
So that'll force a Mike Null punt for the first time. And now we will get the young man known as the Elf into the game for Texas Tech, number 12. He's waiting here at the 32. A fearless elf, I might add. Well, aerial coverage for tonight's game is courtesy of the Outback Steakhouse Airship Bloomin' Onion 1. The Bloomin' Onion 1 airship, fan favorite every week on ABC, ESPN, college football broadcasts. This will be the third time that Texas Tech has handled the football, and they have not threatened the red zone yet.
They've not been able to establish any kind of running game at all. They're not going to live and die by running the football, but this is Mike Leach's best running team that he has had, and they haven't really even attempted yet to run the football against Oklahoma.
Has both of his running backs back. There's that shuffle pass to Woods. And Woods on first down picks up about 8 yards. Basically, that's a running play. Defensive coaches certainly look at this as we take a look at what they have accomplished so far this season. They're pretty similar.
Most productive position on the offense, averaging 26 touches and 190 yards a game with 19 touchdowns. You put those two together, receiving and rushing, they put up a lot of yards.
Batch stays in. He'll get the first down. Beautiful run as he comes crashing across midfield to the 46-yard line, and over there is Austin Box.
We just talked about the running game. You mentioned the shovel pass kind of is a part of their running game, but this is also a big part, is getting number 25 into the open space and letting him accelerate. He's a physical back, much more so than Shannon Woods. That time he broke a tackle and picked up valuable yardage for the Red Raiders.
Time, but can't find an open receiver. Finally, far side and out of bounds. It was thrown for Edward Britton, the junior from El Paso.
Graham Harrell in this offense just has to settle down. The emotions of the game are kind of settling down. Now it's just about going out and executing. It's always tougher to do it on the road. The last few games at home, even though they were huge games against great opponents, they made it at times look effortless. It's very different on the road. They just have to calm down and believe in what their scheme is.
The flare to Batch. I believe he got another first down. No, might be spotted by that line judge. Just a touch short, right there at the mark.
You know, the underneath routes from Texas Tech are so important. Watch the linebackers from Oklahoma try to match up. They're just looking for those crossing routes, and it left Batch open to the outside. They're so concerned with the crossers in that middle part of the defense. You could see their heads on a swivel trying to match up. They left 25 all alone to the outside on the outlet.
Line judge on this side has been very, very busy. Your box, a good spot. Good job there, young man.
Good call.
Actually, bring the chains across.
Brent, you see some of the scores, some of the games today?
I did indeed. Watch the end of the shocker in South Bend.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Adrian Dantley's son threw the winning touchdown pass for Syracuse. I was so happy for Coach Robinson. I know he'll be moving on, but he'll get a job as an assistant in the NFL or with someone in the college game. He's a good man, good solid football man. Just didn't get things turned around quickly enough to satisfy everybody up in Syracuse. It's going to be tough up there, and we will see what the Orange. I was happy for Phil Fulmer too. He came over the way.
Yeah, great win for Greg Robinson. But on the other side, if Charlie Weiss,
I didn't want to go to the other side.
If he's felt that it's been a little hot in South Bend, they have USC next week, which is usually about a 40-point loss, so it's going to get real hot.
Yeah, you got that right on. Yes, sir. 7-0 Oklahoma leading here. They did get the first down. Throwing to Batch on the outside, and Very fine play by Dominique Franks. Now Franks is the corner on that side. You have to be able to tackle in space when you play the Red Raiders, and Franks did exactly that. Watch this tackle.
Yeah, he's sitting in the corner. This is something Graham Harrell has to recognize. It's an easy play, but you're right. You do have to have that ability to take down the ball carrier. That's something that Oklahoma has put a lot of emphasis on this week, is tackling in space and yards after the catch. They have to eliminate them. Good job there by Dominique.
First sack. He threw it. There was a receiver. They're marking him down. That is the first sack of the night. Referee said he was under control that time, and he was in the arms of big Adrian Taylor, who is an unbelievable athlete.
Great athlete, 35-inch vertical, but let's face it, these routes are being covered by Oklahoma. That's a coverage sack that allowed Taylor enough time to get there. Oklahoma doing a good job of rerouting the Texas Tech wide receivers, making them work to get open, something we've not seen much of the last couple weeks. So he's sitting back there, Graham Harrell, holding the football, and Oklahoma's just too athletic up front.
A 12-yard loss on the first sack of the night. Taylor has about a 35-inch vertical leap. And talking to Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator, he said Taylor may be one of our best athletes on this team. He said, you can't believe the explosiveness. And there's another young man behind Coach Stoops, Brent Venables. He's up for a head coaching job. We expected a wide open, explosive, high-scoring game. And guess what? The defenses are the story here so far. 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and Texas Tech has not sniffed the end zone. That would be a first this year.
But Crabtree all the way at the bottom on a big third down here if he can try to make a huge play on 3rd and long.
Second sack. Consecutive sacks. Gerald McCoy was one of those hand fighting his way in, and this offensive line has a load of trouble against this Sooner front right now.
What a great twist, a big stunt here from Oklahoma. The speed and athletic ability of McCoy right in the middle, goes to the outside around Taylor. Then he gets a one-on-one matchup and just uses his speed and quickness to go right by Rylan Reed, the left tackle. Brent Venables mixing up this defense, doing a great job with their pressure. Even when they're only bringing 4, they're mixing up the looks.
LaCour fumbles a snap and does get it off. Had they had any kind of a block on, they would have eaten him up. And oh, are they lucky here that they didn't get a tip by Broyles and a turnover. Let's go to Matt Weiner in New York for an update, Matt.
All right, Brent, Penn State quarterback Darrell Clark picked a great time to have a career game, and he's our nominee for the AT&T ESPN All-America Player of the Week. 341 yards passing for Clark, who accounted for 5 total touchdowns. Fueled the Nittany Lions' trip to the Rose Bowl. To cast your vote, text the word vote to 51234 on your AT&T wireless telephone.
The offensive line must regroup for the Red Raiders as Chris Brown checks in as Bradford's running back here for the Sooners. Coming down toward the final minute of the opening quarter, and Brown will bring that clock down. So the highlight of the first quarter has certainly been the performance of the Sooner defense against that Texas Tech front. That has been your highlight. The other one is the fact that Oklahoma took the ball on its first series and drove right down the field with DeMarco Murray banging into the end zone. 2nd down and 5. Bradford has all day throwing to Grisham, who's wide open and in a foot race. Out of bounds at the 29-yard line. The Sooners threatening again.
When you run the football, you start to get safeties and linebackers sucked in, and that's what happened here. You see the confusion. Wide open on the backside. Duncan, the linebacker, trying to stay with Grisham. Not only is there a big advantage there with the size, but also the speed there. And a nice throw, nice accurate throw by Sam Bradford.
He's 4-6 for 73 yards right now. Coming back with Brown.
Great blocking again up front. I'm telling you, this Oklahoma offense, it starts up front with the big boys that are able to just push back the Texas Tech defensive line.
Oklahoma with 150 yards of offense in the first quarter. 7 points, and more importantly, they shut out Texas Tech and held them to 50 yards. And we'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. This ESPN telecast available in high definition on ABC HD. Kirk Herbstreit and Lisa Salters. I'm Brett Musburger from Norman, Oklahoma. The favored Sooners lead by 7. Chris Brown on the field as the running back. Sam Bradford, and let's see if the Texas Tech defense can hold up. And there was a penalty flag.
It's like big Duke Robinson trying to get a head start.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Phil Lodeholt, Duke Robinson, John Cooper, Brandon Walker, Trent Williams. And the coach is telling us that Trent Williams, number 71, is having the best year overall. They'll switch him to left tackle next year after Lodeholt graduates. Rush 4, not putting heat. Here's Gresham, another first down. Kirk, they've got to find a way to put some pressure on Bradford. He has all day in that backfield.
Well, in this case, he just gets back. The timing, look at the timing between, by the time Gresham turns around, the football is in there. The anticipation from Sam Bradford and the feel that he has right now for Jermaine Gresham is very obvious.
Brown, 11 yards before they're able to bring him down across the 5-yard line. 173 yards and counting for this Oklahoma offense.
Just mentioned Trent Williams. He does a good job of getting to the second level, which opened a huge seam on the backside and gave Brown plenty of room.
Brown cut off, slashes back, touchdown OU.
The problem that Texas Tech is facing right now is this balance. If they load up to stop the run, then Oklahoma will throw it. If they stay back to prevent the big pass play, then they're being run on. That's why it's so nice to see an offense that can both run and throw and make you pay for overcommitting to one spot that you're committed to be able to slow down. You slow down the run and they'll hurt you throwing it.
Jimmy Stevens adds the extra point, and Oklahoma takes a 2-touchdown lead on Texas Tech. Oklahoma leading by a couple of touchdowns, and it's been a long time since the Red Raiders didn't score in the first quarter of a football game. Cresswell will kick it away again. Fielded on the 20-yard line. And a return out to the 37. Let's check in with Matt Weiner in New York.
Sports Center right now is powered by Vizio. Right now, the Utah Utes are about 9 minutes away from the spot in the BCS Bowl. Back-to-back touchdowns. The first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter have them up by 17 over rival BYU. Earlier today, Penn State played its way into the Rose Bowl for the first time in 14 seasons after dominating Michigan State. And afterward, Brett, Joe Pa confirmed he'll return for a 44th season as head coach.
My, oh my. Joe Pa headed in for hip surgery prior to the Rose Bowl. Wouldn't be surprised he'll lead him out. Big drive here for the Red Raiders. Down a couple of scores. They've been stifled. That screen game has gotten going. Now they're going to try it on first down, and they throw to Daylight Morris. And right now the Red Raiders are completely out of sync. Let's go down below to Lisa.
Well, Brent, before the offense came back on the field, Mike Leach called all of his offensive players around him, and he said, look, guys, how many times do I have to tell you, this is just like you did all weekend practice. Do what you did on Wednesday. He said, right now, I'm watching the best offensive line in the country get pushed around. Play like you played on Wednesday. Guys?
Lisa Crabtree now is off to the right side of the formation. Harrell guns it, and Crabtree the target at midfield. So Crabtree, with his second reception of the game, gives them a 1st and 10, and maybe that will spark the offense.
What Oklahoma's doing a great job of is taking away the screens and the shovel passes and everything about 5 yards down the field and back into the Texas Tech part of the line of scrimmage. So they're going to have to start throwing those digs just like that behind the linebackers.
They've set the screen again with Batch. Met and blown up. This was the practice for the defense on Thursday that we watched. As soon as they throw to the outside, the linebackers and the safeties try to crash in as hard as they can. Well, Brent Venables wants it forced back into the middle. He doesn't want him to get the outside edge on the screen pass, and Box coming over again for him. That is Venables' plan here tonight. 2nd down and 11. Batch breaks the first tackle. Nice run. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Kirk, that was a powerful run.
He's able to shake loose and get downfield. They brought a corner blitz. You'll see him off to the left here. Jackson comes. He takes a chance. If he makes the tackle, it's a great play. But once he's able to elude Jackson, there's nobody left to the outside. But you mentioned Brent Venables and what he's trying to do. The other thing is just the Oklahoma defensive coaches, led by Bob Stoops and Brent Venables. Another one on Oklahoma. But they know this offense as well as anybody. They can almost call the plays, and he told us they're simplifying things this week based on formations and alignments. And you could see early in this game, it's almost like Oklahoma knows what is coming before the play has a chance to develop.
Shannon Woods, the running back. Line holds and drops in underneath to his safety valve, and there's the elf. There's Morris into the game, and it was Mike Leach who actually dubbed him the elf. He even has a young man who's being redshirted the elf in waiting, and he said that this elf's a little devious. One day he dressed up like an elf and came into a coach's meeting and jumped up on the table and started stomping around in those long-toed shoes. Now, can you just see Eric Morris up on a table breaking up a coach's meeting? 2nd down and 3. Batted away. That's the Crabtree play that you all remember so well from the Texas game. And Frank said, not on my watch, not this time.
Well, they're jumping the routes. He actually is going to make a cut to the outside. Watch how quick Franks jumps this route. And when you start to see that as a play caller and as a quarterback, you've got to come up with some double moves. You cannot just continue to allow this Oklahoma defense to be in your hip pocket on almost every single route that you're running. Also, notice how long everything's taking to develop because Graham Harrell has to find his 3rd and 4th receiver.
They show blitz. Harrell deflected. The 2nd time on a blitz that they have been able to deflect a Graham Harrell pass. And young Box is growing up here as their middle linebacker.
This is a huge series for Texas Tech. That was 3rd down. Oklahoma's been bringing a lot of pressure. You mentioned the way Box came up the middle, but I think Texas Tech has no other choice. And Mike Leach, known to be a risk taker, he's going to go for it here on 4th down.
Harrell needs 3 yards for the 1st. Steps away. Incomplete. The Oklahoma defense is the story. That's your headline here tonight. So far, it has been Boomer Sooner, throwing to nothing but air.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. Aflac, ask about it at work. And Chevy, an American revolution.
And we're back to action. First and 10 Sooners.
During his 10-year career, Bob Stoops has lost only 2 games here in Norman. One at the hands of Oklahoma State, and 23 games ago, TCU. Here is Murray slashing his way to the 30, 40, and Murray having a huge night for the offense. That's 23 more yards for Murray as he approaches 100 in the first half.
It starts with, again, the running game. Great blocks downfield by Iglesias and Manny Johnson. But DeMarco Murray looks like DeMarco Murray before the injury that he sustained last year to Texas Tech. He has much more confidence in that knee.
Bunch on the left. Bradford hasn't touched the ground yet. And here's Murray off the pass. 40, 35. And Murray to the 30-yard line for another 1st and 10 before L.A. Reid can bring him down, but it is a 31-yard gain for the Sooners.
But the accuracy of Sam Bradford. Watch the feet. Gets himself in position, comes over. Great throw in front of Murray. And with DeMarco Murray in the open field, you talk about the importance of making a tackle. Again, this guy looks as good as he has looked all year the last couple of weeks, and he's picking up again tonight.
Crowd on fire and Leach on edge. Time for tonight's Aflac trivia question. Herbie, you're ineligible. Okay. Mike Leach was Oklahoma's offensive coordinator in 1999. Who was his starting quarterback? That's pretty easy if you're an Oklahoma fan. There he is.
Wow, look at him.
Wearing the Sooner shirt at a meeting there with his quarterbacks.
Spurrier Jr. there.
Tech having used its final timeout of the half, and we still have 11 minutes. And here's Brown. McNeil, the defensive coordinator, got all over his defense during that timeout, looking for a spark. And there's Ruffin on that far side. Everybody do their job. That was the chant. And Wall, the corner, comes up to help Colby Whitlock, and there's Ruffin on that far side.
We were kind of talking at the break there. What can they do to turn this game around? And, you know, the last 2 games that we called of Texas Tech against Texas and Oklahoma State, their defensive line and linebackers just outfought Texas and Oklahoma State. Shoes on the other foot tonight.
Brown spinning. And another 1st down. So it is so one-sided right now as far as yardage is concerned. 235 yards for the Sooners, Herbert.
They're just getting such a great push right now. And as I said, Texas Tech, it's about wanting it more and trying to just be able to play as a group. Right now, they look like they're rattled as a team.
Play action going in zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Jermaine Gresham. That was a beautiful play action. Freezing the backers just enough. Gresham releases into the end zone. And Oklahoma is up by 3 touchdowns.
What you gotta love about Oklahoma is sensing that Texas Tech is on the ropes, and they just keep attacking and keep burying this Texas Tech team and the will of the Texas Tech team.
Stevens tacks on another extra point. Folks, that is 4 Oklahoma possessions and 3 touchdowns. Putting on a show in Norman, aren't they? .66 junior from Ardmore, Oklahoma, Jermaine Gresham, and he has been a nightmare matchup for defensive coordinators throughout the Big 12 and in their non-conference games. Oklahoma had a good non-conference schedule. Cincinnati and TCU. That'll be part of their argument in the BCS computers if they have to decide this tiebreaker in the Big 12 South. This is fielded on the run on the 20-yard line by Wall. Wall runs up and out of bounds. A fine return.
Well, there's no question the running game helps set this up. The fullback here, Clapp, will go right down the middle. You'll see Grisham right here. Now, it's a simple read for Bradford, but watch Hines, the safety, kind of in the slot, just get lost. And I don't know if he was caught up in thinking DeMarco Murray might have the football, but because he kind of sat there in no man's land, there's nobody there to take away Grisham. Easy read and an easy throw for Sam Bradford.
With that fine return to the 49-yard line, Graham Harrell will see if he can get things going. He moves Michael Crabtree into the backfield alongside of him. And they run back out of that formation. So the first 4 drives of the night here, and you can see that Texas Tech held to 13, 15, 12, and 47 yards. Brent Venables is having a sensational night. If Clemson is interested, as we have heard, and there was an interview, they are very impressed with what he's doing against Mike Leach's offense here tonight. It is 2nd down and 5. There is Batch, and he is blown up. Travis Lewis, outstanding. Redshirt freshman from San Antonio, Texas.
Linebackers have great speed, and right now this Oklahoma defense is just pinning its ears back, playing with so much confidence. Graham Harrell came into this game as a Heisman frontrunner, and right now he needs to settle his team down and make some great throws.
Short. Wanted Crabtree. Let's see if he goes, Mike, on 4th down here. The ball is across midfield. They're down by 3 touchdowns. Harrell stays out on the field. Graham Harrell stays, and Leach is going to roll the dice, folks.
Big roll the dice.
He doesn't want to give Bradford and the Sooners the ball right here with 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. You hate to say it's a must conversion, but the way things are going, this is as must as it gets. Backpedaling. Incomplete. Broken up by Brian Jackson, and it is Sooner football.
Well, when you have a quarterback who is rattled, he misses throws that he would typically make. Watch here from the left to the right. Well, you're not going to be able to see him, but the elf, Eric Morris, breaks free right behind the linebackers. He's wide open, and this is even before Graham Harrell decided he needed to move and get away from the pressure. But when you're rattled, when you're feeling the pressure, sometimes you make decisions you would not usually make.
The one thing I noticed at the end of that, did that appear to you fans at home when you saw that replay? Should Crabtree have caught this ball? This football team, I've not seen them perform like this. I want you to watch the end of this play now.
Good shot there. Pretty good play there by Jackson.
Jackson may have got a hand in there and did a hell of a job over there on that far sideline here.
Eric Morris breaking free. There's Gerald McCoy kind of showing the crowd he's not done tonight. But Eric Morris, this is the guy that I was looking at. And Graham Harrell, before he feels pressure, he's got him right in the middle where they've had so much success in recent weeks. And he's sensing and feeling that pressure right now, that he's starting to get out of there even before the pressure gets there.
Harrell talking to his offensive teammates. Anything to rally the troops. But the way things are going, they're going to be down 4 touchdowns. That was Moses Madu, his first carry of the night. He's the 3rd running back used by Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator, who works with Jay Norvell, and of course head coach Bob Stoops. Kevin Wilson's name is going to come up down here in the South also, especially if anything happens over at TCU and Coach Patterson goes up to Kansas State. But Kevin Wilson doing a superb job of calling plays here tonight. I cannot believe Bradford finally couldn't find an open man. Sprints out of trouble. What a night Bradford is having. 1st and 10. Wall finally bringing him down.
Good coverage here by Texas Tech, and Sam Bradford not showing his athletic ability very often, doesn't usually have to maneuver, but that time steps up into the pocket and finds a nice crease in the defense and picks up that 1st down.
Movement. So we'll get the refs' mic straightened out probably at halftime. That's Load Holt, and he is a load, folks. That left tackle for the Sooners. He goes 6'8", 337 out of Fountain, Colorado. That's the system that you see looking over the sideline that Kevin worked so hard on with Northwestern. He was the offensive coach up there. Again, Bradford.
He is an athlete. Played basketball in high school. Great golfer. He just has not had to show this very often because the offense executes almost always in sync. And this last 2 plays, though, nice job of recognizing it and instead of a bad play, trying to make something good happen.
300 yards of offense for the Sooners. Play fake. It's like practice. Juggled. Incomplete. It was Gresham again.
This is the one knock on Gresham, is that as big as he is and as athletic as he is, he looks like eventually a 1st-round pick in the NFL as a big tight end. Look at the mismatch with his size, but there is a knock on his hands, and that is a touchdown if he's able to catch that pass and get into the end zone.
Need 7 on this 3rd down. Picks it up easy. Touchdown. Joaquin Iglesias. That was like backyard keep away. 28 yards and another Sooner score. Remember the 4th down gamble near midfield. When you give a red-hot offense the ball with that kind of field position, that's a big-time gamble that Coach Leach took. When you go on 4th down, he knows it better than anybody. You got to make it in that situation, and they didn't.
Man coverage underneath by Texas Tech, and you'll see Murray come to the outside. When he does that, you got a linebacker that clears out. When the linebacker clears out, look how open that is, and the move in the open field by Iglesias. One of the most prolific receivers in the history of Oklahoma football. Big, strong, but also very quick and able to get into the end zone.
Charbonnet goes down on the play, and he's walking off on his own power. He was shaken up, and there is Iglesias. So with Manuel Johnson having suffered that nasty-looking elbow injury against Kansas, he has not returned to form, but that doesn't matter with the Sooners. They still have Iglesias. Chaney has stepped up, and of course Gresham is a big-time wide receiver. And the Sooners are out by 4 touchdowns. They have gone 76 yards, 84 yards, and 55 yards, all in less than 2 minutes. We are back, and the Sooner schooner starting to pull away on this road trip for the Red Raiders. It is 28-0, Herbie, with 7:45 to go in the 2nd quarter. We have not seen Texas Tech play this poorly, but we've got to give an awful lot of credit to this Oklahoma defense.
Yeah, I'm watching, thinking, you know, Oklahoma's had 2 weeks to get ready for Texas Tech and vice versa. But the Oklahoma defense, it's almost like you see the wristbands with play charts.
Sure.
It's like Oklahoma went into the locker room to Texas Tech and said, can we get some of the play charts so we know every single play that you're going to run? Give them all the credit in the world because they have Graham Harrell and Texas Tech offensively rattled And on defense, they have no chance right now to stop this balance and this physical attack from the Sooners.
They'd love to get one on the board before the intermission. Anything to build on. Moreland kicking it off. Keeping it on the ground. And the Red Raiders with a loose football. Did the Sooners get at it? This could be a backbreaker here in the first half. Expect the unexpected with Stoops. But the Red Raiders hang on.
This looks like a kick that was just intended to be a squib kick that ends up hitting the linebacker, Bird, who's in there. It's a loose ball. Texas Tech very fortunate to get that ball back.
Victor Hunter jumping into the middle of that pile to save the day. Football just sitting there, and now we will see what Harrell and this offense under pressure can do. Woods is pulled down. Jackson made that splendid play a short time ago on Crabtree on a pass play, and now he comes up on run support.
The goal tonight for Oklahoma was to keep it simple and having a defense that's going to play with awareness, confidence, and aggression. Well, so far, that goal is accomplished. That's exactly how they're playing.
And the elf, Morris, to the 24-yard line, and he's barking at that defensive back, Nick Harris. There's a flag on it, however.
There's a holding
and now
call.
He's pushing. The back judge stepped in. Morris and Harris were barking at one another at the end of that play.
We have a holding call to bring this play back.
Personal foul.
Oh.
Hands to the face. Defense number 96.
Well, they catch a break here.
First down.
The first break all night.
Well, the one
Tech
stat, the one stat that has gone clearly against Oklahoma, the penalties in this game. That's 59 yards of penalties against the Sooners now.
And DeMarcus Granger, the rotating bodies in, he just gets his hands up right into the face of Stephen Hamby. Texas Tech, see if they can take advantage of the opportunity here deep into Oklahoma territory.
End zone, juggled incomplete. Had it for a moment. It looked like Morris might have a touchdown, and Harris has got a few words for him.
I know that Graham Harrell's taking chances, but Brett, look at number 2 right here, and look at the defense completely clearing out. If Graham Harrell dumps that, it's about a 15, maybe a 20-yard gain. I like that he took a chance and he had a shot to get it in there.
He had a touchdown pass, Herbie, if Morris had held on to the ball. He had Morris open. He's going right back for it. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Trumaine Swindle. And what a huge score this is at 6:28. As Harrell just kept on bringing it.
Attacking these last 2 plays, the middle of the Oklahoma defense. The safeties are out wide. They're picking on the middle linebacker box. He doesn't get quite deep enough. And they get a much-needed touchdown for the Red Raiders.
Swindle loved that score, folks. He's a redshirt freshman from Oklahoma City. And there's a penalty flag on the extra point. Many of you who have been with us during this tour of the Big 12 South know that the kicker who kicks extra points for the Red Raiders is
dead ball, delay a game. Defense number 44. Half the distance to the goal. We're still on the try.
And that is Matt Williams would be the kicker, number 85. And in case you have not heard the story, he won a kicking contest in civilian clothes during a game earlier this year. He got a month's free rent at a condominium, and Mike Leach sent an assistant coach over and got his name, brought him out to practice, and he has been one of the kickers ever since. He's had the extra points, and he's been perfect on extra points. The ultimate walk-on.
Big play here for Texas Tech, and you have the linebackers in there. Right here's Box. He's going to try to sink, and here's the touchdown pass with the linebackers trying to get deep. The safety's out on the hash. Look how he gets to the middle of the field, and Box actually makes a pretty good play to try to recover. Almost gets a hand on the ball, but Graham Harrell puts just enough on it to get it over Box, and pretty good concentration by Swindle to come up with that touchdown. Talk about a team that's desperate to get anything going. It's one thing, and we were talking during a break, you kind of had a feeling that eventually the offense from Texas Tech might find a rhythm and might be able to put some points on the board. You really wonder, if you're Ruffin McNeil, what can you say and how can you adjust to slowing down the Oklahoma offense and how physical they are.
That tells the story of the dominance until that drive by the OU defense, and Murray goes back to return this kickoff. Iglesias and Murray are back deep for the Sooners. And with Murray returning kickoffs, that certainly means that the medical staff says he's back 100% ready to go. They would not be using him to return kickoffs. Corona gives it to him, and Iglesias says take a knee and let it come out on the 20-yard line. Let's go to Matt in New York for an update, Matt.
And here's a Verizon Wireless update from College Park, Maryland, where the Terps have the inside track on the ACC Atlantic Division. At least they did, but they've turned it over 3 times tonight, all in the first half. Derek Nicholson took this one back 22 yards, so it's Florida State up 21-0 there. Oregon State is 2 wins away from the Rose Bowl, but trailing at Arizona thanks to a missed extra point, 17-16.
All right, and here it is 28-7, Oklahoma leading Texas Tech. And the Red Raider defense finally makes penetration and can't stop Murray. 12 yards. They had him for a loss. He broke the tackle, kept on coming.
Now you've got to make this play. I mean, it would have been a great play by Dixon because he's fighting through to try to get off a block. The tight end Grisham has him. He gets 2 hands on DeMarco Murray, but like I said, Murray is just having a big night now that he is healthy. It takes more than a couple hands to get on Murray to bring him down. But Tech's going to have to start to win the battle at the line of scrimmage, and they've not been able to do that at all.
DeMarco picking up 3 more, headed for a 100-yard first half here with Brian Duncan, one of the middle linebackers, number 57 there, making the snap.
You and I have called these games with Texas Tech. We've talked a lot about Colby Whitlock, 93 in the middle of this defense. Brian Duncan, who made the play there. Marlon Williams. When Oklahoma runs, these players need to emerge and step up to make plays. See the focus there. I love this no huddle. I think you and I agree. It's probably the fastest no huddle in the country this year.
Absolutely. Murray again gets to within a couple of yards. Very manageable 3rd down coming up. And again, Duncan. There's Josh Heupel.
You talk a lot about the coordinators at Oklahoma with Venables and Kevin Wilson and how they'll eventually become great head coaches. Josh Heupel has a huge future as well.
Chris Brown for the first down. Well, the Aflac, we ask you the question. You've seen the answer. I'd be very disappointed if most of you didn't get this one. Who was Mike's starting quarterback when he was the offensive coordinator? You saw a good shot of Josh there. It's Gundy alongside. Won a national championship with Josh. They beat that Florida State team. And speaking of Florida State, as Bobby Bowden works that game, and Matt gave you the update, 2 of Bobby's sons are here tonight, working radio. Terry Bowden and Jeff Bowden are both in attendance here tonight.
Kevin Wilson told me this week, he said, you know, Josh Heupel has had a lot to do with Sam Bradford because they're pretty similar in their approach as players. When Josh was a player, he was a cerebral quarterback, made great decisions. There's Kevin Wilson right here. I think a future head coach, probably the near future.
Yeah, I think so.
But Josh Heupel has had a lot to do with the development of Sam Bradford.
Remember now, Josh's father was a high school coach, Herbie, so like you, he grew up around the game. And here is Brown running the ball, and
Stoops, I think, bringing that clock down. I think the one thing he wants to avoid here is letting Texas Tech suddenly jump back in with a 14-point burst before the intermission. He'd be very happy up 28-7. So they're not taking any high risk so far. But then again, Bradford has not been touched in that backfield. He's had whatever he wants to throw the ball. The offensive line has done a great job, and he drops off a screen to Murray. Murray drops back now. Going to lose some yards unless he can break free. And he does. Turns it into a gain and a first down. What a half for DeMarco Murray.
I said it earlier, and I just continue to marvel at DeMarco Murray. This is the back that I think a lot of people expected to see this year. Now that he is healthy, when he gets the football, it's not just the quickness, Brent. It's the power that he's running with. When he lowers his shoulder, you better be ready.
Oklahoma needs two things here tonight. A win, obvious, as Chris Brown gives him a break. The second thing they need, BCS style points. Now, they've still got a tough Oklahoma State game in Stillwater next Saturday. But BCS style points are going to count if there's a three-way tie for first with Texas. Remember now, Texas beat Stoops in Oklahoma and Dallas, and Texas Tech.
He's upset because Texas Tech tried to call a timeout. And as you see up here, they're out of timeouts.
Iglesias is number 9 at the bottom of the screen. Coming back with Brown on the clock, staying in bounds, and they may just get another score themselves here on the ground, the way they're moving the ball.
Well, this outside zone play opens up so nicely. Christian again involved, road hold to left tackle, and these backs showing great patience, letting the crease develop, and then getting upfield in a hurry. Texas Tech being manhandled up front right now by Oklahoma.
That would be load hold, Robinson, Cooper, Walker, and Williams. Brown for another first down to the 15-yard line, and now Stoops and the Sooners are thinking 7 more.
What a great 1-2 punch of having Murray and Brown by rotating them in and out. Allows them both to stay fresh. As much as Sam Bradford, as much as he gets the attention, and he's a great quarterback, and they can hurt you quickly throwing, it's all about this running game.
Here comes again Murray. First man not bringing him down. 108 yards here in the first half. Scored the game's first touchdown.
You wonder if the tempo is also affecting Texas Tech. You can see their defensive linemen, hands on their hips. Wonder how fatigued they are as they continue to just get pushed around.
Kevin's checked the personnel. Sent down the play once. Chris Brown's his running back, and straight ahead goes Bradford for the first down. First and goal. They picked up the first down. That stops the clock momentarily. They got a minute and a half. They would love to score this touchdown to make it 35-7 and go right to the locker room. Stoops is checking that clock right now with Kevin.
Staring that clock down, isn't he? Over 5 minutes now on this drive. Taking that clock down. He would love a 35-7 lead.
With Brown smashing into the end zone. They have made it look easy. In all the pregame hype and chatter about this game, the question was which defense is going to stand up? I think we've answered that here tonight, Herbie. Big difference. Given up 401 yards in the first half, the Red Raiders have. The Sooners have had 5 drives here tonight. I should check that they've had 6 drives and 5 touchdowns. Stopped only once. That was the second time they handled the ball.
Great look here, the offensive line. Brandon Walker, 73, coming around. Good block by the fullback. A clap. And it's just same old, same old. I mean, you're right. They make it look easy. The execution up front, just pushing people around. And these backs just are running through arm tackles. What a first half.
Coming up on the Capital One halftime report, Big John Saunders and Craig James, who has a son over there on the sideline with Texas Tech. Probably not too happy about what's going on. Of course, the Flutie man, Doug Flutie, and they'll tell us what the Red Raiders have to do here in the second half, and they'll have all the big stories and highlights, and we certainly want to thank the Outback Steakhouse for the great views we've had. That's the Bloomin' Onion one up there. Captain Paul Hino at the controls of the Bloomin' Onion, and Captain Paul just come along with us to Stillwater. The Bedlam game next week, my friend. Stay right here in Oklahoma. Game day if they head to Stillwater
I think
if Oklahoma wins this?
Game day may already be setting up in Stillwater right now. May already be there.
We didn't expect this now, brother.
No, we didn't expect this. I mean, you knew that Oklahoma was going to be excited. You knew the stadium would be excited. I think a lot of people thought the Texas Tech offense would be able to execute better.
Fielded back near the goal line and out to the 25-yard line as we take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. So the showdown between the two quarterbacks, and it has been more one-sided than the numbers would show.
What it doesn't show with the numbers is the way Sam Bradford has been able to manage an offense that's been in complete control of the football game. His numbers 9-12, 176 with a couple scores. That's good, but it's really the story's been the way they've controlled the line of scrimmage and run the football.
So we get 42 points in the first half, folks, but nobody thought one team would have 35 of the 42. And here is Badge.
Interesting call without a timeout, because you know Mike Leach is always thinking about points to run the football, basically just wasting 15, 20 seconds.
Intercepted at midfield. Picked off by Lewis. Lewis with great speed. Headed end zone. Just short. They've got all 3 timeouts in 21 seconds. Lewis, a converted safety. Didn't make it as a safety. He is a heck of a linebacker. And look at that official get Harris away. Look at him get him out of there. Carter was over there, and Harris, and there was no question that something was about to happen, and that official aggressively stepped in, and now he goes over to Stoops.
There was actually quite a bit of activity, and that's why there's a flag down, a celebration from Oklahoma. Some pushing and shoving.
After the play had ended, personal foul, Texas Tech, number 76. Halfway distance to the goal. First down.
That's Carter.
Yep, some pushing and shoving after the touchdown, and that's why Harris responded to Carter. But this is exactly what Mike Leach couldn't afford. The pressure there, great awareness by Lewis. But the big thing is Graham Harrell continues to look rattled with the variety of looks from Brent Venables and the defense from Oklahoma. The activity came in this corner right afterwards.
Now Murray, touchdown Oklahoma. It's a stomping in Norman, folks, an old-fashioned stomping. Better come prepared if you're going to play Oklahoma at Norman. Jimmy Stevens. Tacks it on.
Graham Harrell, the quarterback who has set the bar in college football this year with his accuracy and decision-making, continuing to struggle. An errant throw. Lewis showing tremendous speed. They say as a safety, now linebacker, he's a 4-5 guy right in front of the camera here. Well, right there. Carter comes in, pushing and shoving actually from both sides. Are we in Madison?
Mullen with an assortment of kicks here tonight. Woods. Check that Jamar Wall, I should say.
So we can break down the BCS in the second half if you want. Kill a little time.
Look down on this scene. Tough ticket. And this crowd will not be leaving. No, sir. They're loving every moment. There's it inside the backs, the little shuttle pass. Out near midfield. Tackled by Harris.
Another late flag coming in.
After the play had ended, and the offense had gained enough yardage for a first down, personal foul. Offense, number 19, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's one of the wide receivers, Leon. Well, they don't want to be losing their composure. Okay,
no.
When you get your butt kicked, you want to stay composed. You've still got another half. You got a high-powered offense. If the defense can regroup a little bit, huh? Let's quickly go down to Lisa.
Hey, Coach, describe what you saw from your team at half.
What's that?
Describe what you saw from your team.
We just never got them settled down. You know, came out too hyped, and we never got everybody settled down. Tried to make too much happen. It's disappointing because just doing little simple things is a key.
Texas Tech offense, we just haven't seen it yet. Why not?
I did a better job just doing our job, making routine things happen.
Thanks, Coach.
And thank you, Lisa, the man you'd want to hear from in that situation, too. And I'd like to find out what our studio gang's got to say. John Saunders, Craig James, and Doug Flutie. So take it away for the Capital One halftime report, Big John.
Well, Graham Harrell rattled, and the Red Raiders getting rolled. The Sooners by 5 touchdowns at the break. Chris Fowler back with Lee Corso. Lee, this is not the Oklahoma defense we've seen give up a lot of points in the conference. What's different tonight?
Well, first of all, you got to understand they gave up 45 to Texas, an average of 30 points a game in the last 4. And the difference is they're playing base defense, 4 rushers. They know exactly what they're doing. They're playing a lot of zone and occasionally blitzing. But what they've done is paralysis through analysis. Was a Texas game. They're not doing anything but boom, man on man. see who's a better man. That's the difference completely.
Tremendous number of plays for Tech, either negative or very short yardage, and 402 yards in the first half for the Oklahoma offense.
Their offensive line is a foot taller and 100 pounds more than poor Texas Tech. They just blow them off the ball.
Never seen this place quite this electric, and the Sooners making a statement. Back for the second half after this message and a word from your ABC stations.
Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines, and we welcome you back to Norman, Oklahoma, where for the 4th time this season, the Sooners have scored at least 42 points in the opening half. Carter trying to fire him up, and Sam Bradford. Kirk is ready to go back to work. And what do the Red Raiders have to do here now?
Well, I have to tell you what they could do. I mean, it's obviously this first half, if you're just joining us, Oklahoma has dominated the game. It started with their ability to control the line of scrimmage, got the running game going, opened things up for Sam Bradford. The real concern for Graham Harrell is he's been rattled this first half. In fact, the entire offense has been rattled. A late pick there, and Sam Bradford saying, that's what I'm talking about, baby. And they're feeling good right now. What does Texas Tech have to do? I want to see if their defense can step up, and look at this onside kick here. Well, it's one way not to start the second half.
Well, they knew that the Sooners were going to have it for the first series, and now they've got it in much better field position as can't find any rabbits in the hats. I mean, the mad scientist is not having a good time over there right now.
He's been trying, and start off second half. Bob Stoops probably told his guys, remember who we're playing. I know we're up 35. Be alert for the onside kick, and just what you want to see is to give this offense a short field.
Remember, they had one late in the first half from 55 yards, and they marched out. Might have been a false start, huh? Yep. So they start off with a penalty. Might have been somebody over there right on that far side.
False start. Offense number 1, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, Mano Johnson rocked as we take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. And there you see the comparison, Herbie, with the two quarterbacks.
Yeah, Sam Bradford clearly having the better night, and also just his offense has pretty much been able to do whatever they want. His numbers are not gaudy, but because they've been so effective in running the football for 226 yards in the first half, he hasn't needed to be.
This is Murray, had 100-yard first half, and let's check in down below with Lisa.
Well, Brent, remember earlier in the week, Ruffin McNeil said that he lets the coaches above tell him about the body language of his team, and he said, tonight, the tempo just isn't there for us. They're getting over the ball, and we're not. I told the guys, look, we got to attack and tackle. 30 more minutes. The bus isn't going anywhere until it's over.
Bradford rolling hard to the right. Penalty on the play. The line judge on the near side. That was Brian Duncan, number 57, in pursuit of the quarterback, Sam Bradford. Bradford looks like he's a good one.
Sure does.
Holding, offense number 18, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, here's the offense for the season now in the first half. Look at how close they are to what they put up per game.
And the running yards, they've really been physical these last 4 weeks and now 5 weeks since the Texas game. They've been establishing the running game to set the tone. Lisa brought up a great point about Ruffin McNeil, said they're struggling with the tempo of this no-huddle offense that Oklahoma's been bringing to them all game.
Here's Murray sprinting on the outside.
Maybe one of the only times tonight we saw the defense there stretch the play and actually take away that lane, that crease in the defense that Chris Brown and DeMarco Murray have been finding almost every time they've had their hands on the ball.
Here's a 3rd and 22. Oklahoma 5 of 6 on 3rd downs and not favored here, but they're going to let Murray see if he can run for it. He's run for everything else.
I'm so happy for DeMarco Murray, because when we had them against Texas, he just didn't look like he trusted his knee. Talking to him this week, he said he spent so much time in rehab, and that's, you know how it is. It's mental as much as it is physical.
They're going on 4th down, but they're in much better position with a huge lead at the 26-yard line. Flair, 1st down. Pretty easy, wasn't it? Just
pretty simple.
Throwing him over there for the 1st down, and Stoops is not pleased with somebody on this side, telling him not to do that.
Linebackers got to get out there. Marlon Williams late in getting out there, and Murray not only running the football tonight, doing a pretty good job of catching it.
And they finally get Johnson involved. Now remember, he's playing with a left elbow that is has a brace on it, a heavy brace. He suffered a very nasty injury against Kansas. I tell you the truth, if you watched it as I did, Herbie, on television that day, I'm really surprised that the young man's playing again this year.
Yeah, I thought when I saw the injury as well, I thought it probably, unfortunately, would be the end of his season. But he hasn't been heavily involved, but he is still out there, and he's a big part of the chemistry of this offense.
Chris Brown is now the running back instead of Murray. And you see the Gresham over on the right side of the formation. It'll be Brown. He spins to the 15-yard line, and Brian Duncan, the middle linebacker. Brian Duncan, Victor Hunter made some stops for him here tonight. But they just, you know, the one thing, Herbie, that we have not seen, we just have not seen any kind of real pressure on Bradford. They haven't sent any safeties or linebackers or trying to disrupt his rhythm at all. 3rd and 6. Run the toss play with Brown. Good stop that time. Anthony Hines, Jake Ratliff.
You know, the big reason I don't think you're seeing them willing to take chances, and I'm with you. You know, when you give up 42 in the first half, you think you're going to make some adjustments and come with pressure. They're so fearful of giving up the big play that I think they're trying a bend but don't break style, and that's what's allowing Oklahoma to run the football.
Here's Jimmy Stevens. He hasn't been very busy this year for the Sooners because they just haven't kicked that many field goals, and this will be a 33-yard attempt, and Stoops is kind of interested in what his kicker might do. That looked pretty good, didn't it? That had a little distance to it, huh? It's young man's going to be okay for him. Redshirt freshman from Oklahoma City. Timeout. This ESPN telecast available in high definition on ABC HD. We want to thank our production staff for reminding us that this Texas Tech Red Raider team had one of the great comebacks of all time in a bowl game against Minnesota, the greatest comeback in the history of a bowl. And Glenn Mason, it cost him his job with the Golden Gophers. So I am sure that Bob Stoops and the Sooners are well aware that there's a lot of firepower over here on the other side. Wall brings it up to the 32-yard line. Let's go back to Matt in New York for an update. Matt, what do you got for us?
Now, Brent, I've got a nominee for the Pontiac game-changing performance from those Oregon State Beavers down at Arizona by a point. Sean Canfield to Sammy Stroughter, 47 yards to the 7 to set up the game-winning field goal. Canfield was 3 for 3 on that drive. To cast your vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance, go to ESPN.com starting 9 tomorrow morning.
And Matt, Cinderella lives in the Pac-10. Oregon State a win away from going to the Rose Bowl. They hold the tiebreaker over USC. And now they are just one win away from taking on Penn State, which would be a rematch. Here comes Woods on the handoff for the Red Raiders, and he breaks out to the 39-yard line. Gee, Texas Tech has been so unlike them here tonight.
But it's because the job that Brent Venables, defensive coordinator, and his team, the way they've prepared, they're taking away all the gaps and all the seams that this offense likes to try to expose. And because of the coverage, they've been able to get pressure on Graham Harrell.
Wood spins, and quickly Lewis comes up to help out after Gerald McCoy, big 93. Let's talk about the defensive line now. Beal, McCoy, Taylor, and Frank Alexander have done a fine job with that front.
The other thing is these guys are tired of hearing about Texas Tech and their offensive line and how great they are. And I know the Oklahoma coaches played that up for 2 straight weeks, challenging them. They look a little angry tonight in the way they're playing and getting off blocks.
See what they can do with this 3rd and 2. Remember what Mike told Lisa at the end of the half. We didn't do the little things. That's a little thing. That's a first. No, they fumble it away, and it's Oklahoma football. The nightmare continues. Keenan Clayton scoops the fumble up and brings it back to the 2-yard line.
He said they got to do the little things, and this is a little thing, and that's a big thing. Putting it on the ground, and how about the speed of the Sooners defense? When Clayton gets the ball, he's a tailback, he's pointing the box, gets a huge one there by the freshman, Austin Box, and almost takes it into the end zone again. Watch this block coming in there. Oh, the fumble here by Woods, but what a big block there to spring Clayton loose. It's like a race to the end zone when these guys get a turnover.
So Brown is your running back. Clapp is your fullback. They look back now to check the sideline. Brown. It'll be 2nd down to go. Let's go back and take a look at this block that Herbie told you about.
I love the hustle by players when they have a chance to help their teammate right there. Box, and if you would have seen how far he came to put on that block, he'll get 2 check marks from Brent Venables for the hustle there. Good job by Austin Box.
Yeah, and Frank Alexander leading the way too. And Brown battling. Stop, still going. Falls into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
I always talk to my 8-year-old twin boys about never stop moving your feet. How about the effort here by Chris Brown? 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th effort, never giving up. Kind of a defining play to the way this entire game has gone for Oklahoma and for Texas Tech. Great effort there by Chris Brown.
His 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. Carter Whitson will put the ball down. Jimmy Stevens tacks on another extra point. It is all Oklahoma.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. The all-new 2009 H3T pickup. The most versatile Hummer ever. Samsung Mobile, proud sponsor of ESPN Rivalry Week. And Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
A football game that has not lived up to its advanced billing. It has been extremely one-sided if you're joining us late. Oklahoma has dominated on both sides of the ball. And it means an awful lot to the Sooners as well as the Red Raiders, and that will be a penalty. Let's take a look now at the Dr. Pepper Big 12 update, and we start taking a look, as Herbie would call it, the bigger picture here. Now, Texas Tech unbeaten, and should they go on to lose this, we would have Texas Tech, Texas, and Oklahoma all tied.
What's interesting is Texas actually needs Oklahoma. You know, what happened tonight? Some people anticipated if Texas Tech has one loss, and if Oklahoma were to lose to Oklahoma State, it would be head-to-head between Texas Tech and Texas. That's not good for the Longhorns. The Longhorns actually need the Sooners to beat Oklahoma State for the three-way tie.
Incomplete.
They are doing such a great job of taking away Graham Harrell's options. There's just nowhere to go with the football. Everybody's matching up with the receiver. Graham Harrell has nowhere to go with the ball. This defense is so well prepared.
That was Jeremy Beal, the defensive end, number 44, who had him wrapped up. You can see he's basically putting 4 down linemen, dropping the backers off. They're picking up the receivers in underneath. And that blow was delivered by Brian Jackson. Brian Jackson, Nick Harris, and Dominique Franks have been outstanding in that secondary tonight. We've got a flag. I think there were questions, Herbie, coming into this game about this Oklahoma defense.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
And deservingly so for the way they've given up some big plays this year against Texas, Kansas State, Kansas. You know, I went back and I looked at our Big 12 championship game from last year against Oklahoma played Missouri.
Right.
You know, there are only 2 starters tonight that started in San Antonio against Missouri. McCoy up front and Nick Harris. Otherwise, you have 9 new starters playing right now compared to where they were a year ago.
Getting a push. And getting a drop to the running back, Batch on the outside, and then the linebackers and the defensive backs are taking him down. Clayton was over there, and there's your offense. Less than 200 yards. 0 of 6 on 3rd down, 0 of 2 on 4th down, and they've turned it over twice.
Oklahoma keeping everything in front of them, and then they're gang tackling, swarming to the football. Just a confident group right now.
There's Crabtree on that flanker screen coming into the middle, breaking a tackle. His most impressive play of the night. And he's horse-collared. Tack it on.
Also a flag in the backfield. It could be a holding call. It looks like Oklahoma thinks it's a holding call.
And now we got a personal foul downfield. So it offsets.
Looks like Nick Harris guilty of that horse collar.
Crabtree shaken up a little bit.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Personal foul, hands to the head by the offense number 12. Personal foul, horse collar by the defense. Those penalties offset. Repeat, 3rd down.
Let's watch this by Crabtree.
It's a big 3rd down. And boy, this is the first time tonight fans have had a chance to see his strength fighting through those tackles. And then Nick Harris there at the end. Wow. That was really nasty.
Third down and 18. Open. Crabtree can't battle for the first down. Puts it on the ground, wraps it up himself. Harris came over to help out Franks on that play. Harris plays with an attitude, plays safety. That's why they tried him at middle linebacker one game. He couldn't handle that after the injury to Reynolds.
How about the arm strength here by Graham Harrell all the way from the left hash, close to the boundary there to give his receiver Crabtree a chance. And now obviously they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Shannon Woods is the running back. Rushing 4. Can he find somebody? He does on the move. To the 25-yard line is Lewis.
Graham Harrell actually having some time here. 4 men rushing, and you got a little man-to-man underneath there, and This time Lewis is able to pull away from Travis Lewis, who is in good coverage, in pretty good position, but an accurate throw by Harrell. And then Detron Lewis showing what he can do when he has the ball in his hands.
Batch in at running back. Pump fake by Harrell, gonna set a screen. And broken up on the play. Gerald McCoy. The other thing that Oklahoma worked on a long time in practice was the screen package by the Red Raiders. They know how much they love this screen play, the different variations of it, and the defensive personnel, they are so well coached in this game.
They're actually running out to the screen before the running back has a chance to turn back and want to catch the football.
Second and 10. Harrell's got a lot of time. Strikes in the middle. First down at the 10-yard line, and that's Swindle.
This was the big mystery coming into the game. Would Graham Harrell have time to throw the football? Would Texas Tech protect him and allow him to stay in rhythm? And see, you can see that what a difference for any quarterback, let alone Graham Harrell, when you give him that kind of time to sit back there and read a defense and throw the football. Completing a few passes here in the middle of that Oklahoma defense, something the Sooners have done a good job of taking away all night.
Flushed. Out of the back of the end zone. Crabtree was working back there.
This is really a good job here by Oklahoma's defense containing Graham Harrell. Brent, the last few ball games, he has bought time by getting to the outside of defenses, and this time Oklahoma's defense recognizing he was looking to roll out to his right, and Taylor kind of moved to the outside to take that away.
Crabtree just took himself out of the game. He's caught 3 balls for 43 yards. Jacoby Franks replaces him. Trying to put pressure with Box. Outside and deflected away from Jacoby Franks. Now, ordinarily, that would have been Crabtree over there, but he had taken himself out of the game.
But with the way the coverage was by Franks, the ball was a bit late. And I don't know if it would have mattered who was in there because of the way Franks jumps this route. Dominic Franks, the defensive coach, is telling us, is a first-year starter, only a sophomore out of Tulsa Union, really jumping the routes tonight, taking calculated risks.
Crabtree returns. Third down. Far outside at the top of your screen. Comes back to the middle for a touchdown, and that is Morris, the Elf.
The Elf with a little bit of magic, because it looked to me that the linebacker there got his hands on the football. Keenan Clayton, what focus here by the Elf, Eric Morris. Watch right there, yeah. It looked like Keenan Clayton, 22, right in the throwing lane. And luckily for Texas Tech, Graham Harrell had enough on the ball to get that through the linebacker, and Morris makes the catch.
Matt Williams to attempt the extra point. Knocking it through. 5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The Sooners with a big lead. That pass was deflected, and Morris, like you said, stuck right with it. Near the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team, and Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each University General Scholarship Fund. Well, is there anything prettier than a blimp shot of a stadium at night? And we want to thank our friends at Outback Steakhouse, proud sponsor of the Outback Bowl. The Bloomin' Onion One Airship, fan favorite every week on our college football telecast here on the ESPN on ABC. Corona kicks one, it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Meanwhile, let us head to New York. Matt Weiner for SportsCenter right now. Matt.
All right, Brent, SportsCenter right now, powered by Vizio. Penn State is headed back to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 14 seasons after dominating Michigan State. A huge day for Darryl Clark, the quarterback, afterward Joe Paterno confirmed he'll return for a 44th season as head coach. Could be a rematch. You touched upon this. Oregon State had a comeback win to beat Arizona. Field goal at the gun won it. The win over Oregon next week, and the Beavers will meet Penn State.
That will be something, Matt. A rematch of a game won easily. Ball dropped incomplete. Won easily, Herbie, by the Nittany Lions. But that was before they found that little running back up there at Oregon State.
Yeah, Quiz Rogers doing a good job of. Yeah, it's an explosive offense at Oregon State. Plus, it was on the road.
Right.
Mike Riley, for whatever reason, his team struggle in September and then come on strong throughout the conference schedule.
Hey, Bradford's going to be tackled.
How about
that, huh?
Here they
little
come.
grass stain down there,
Here
huh?
they come.
Get the quarterback. Turn him into a football player.
Got a little
There's
pressure
a scoop for you, folks. He's going down.
Got a little pressure there on him.
Jake Ratliff and Henley. Bradford thought he was playing touch football. Third down and 13, and a little bit of flag flying here. We have had some penalties here tonight, I'll tell you that. We got 14 penalties all. Most of them, have, interesting enough, have gone against Oklahoma. That's
Dead
their
ball.
only negative.
Legal substitution. Defense. 12 people on the field. We're in the substitution. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Well, this is not Leach's favorite venue. I will tell you folks that. Under Mike Leach in Norman, completion percentage less than 60. Total yards a game 318. Total points. Now look at the points. 16 points a game, and his record 0-4, well on his way to 0-5. He wants no part of Norman. And like Stoops and like Herbie have told you, Oklahoma knows this offense as well as he does. They ran it for a year. It got refined, certainly. Mark Mangino refined it to a large extent when he was the offensive coordinator. And that was Chuck Long, and now, of course, Kevin Wilson. And of course, speaking of that coaching staff with Mangino and Leach, Stoops told us a wonderful story. Now, folks, I want you to imagine this. Coaches didn't have their wives here their first year, and they all would meet like in a dormitory room at a hotel. And it was always Mangino's room, probably because he had the best food, he had the TV on, and Bob and the guys would leave, and Mangino would go to bed, and Leach would be over in the corner watching Howard Stern on television, and he would say, Mike, turn the TV off when you leave. You got to picture Mark Mangino trying to go to sleep, and there's Leach watching Howard Stern over there on the E! Channel. Okay.
Oh my God! I can only imagine.
Oh, mercy! All the assistants who've gone on to be head coaches of that group. Mike, of course, Chuck Long's out at San Diego State. There's Mangino at Kansas. Mike is over there in Arizona. Tough loss, and Kevin Sumlin at Houston.
And
so
I think you and I agree that Brent Venables and also, without a doubt, Kevin Wilson will be added to that list. I'm sure
pretty soon.
Yep.
You know. Venables, Herbie, he was, interviewed by Clemson? Is that what you told me?
That's right.
Bobbled a little bit, and that's a direct snap to Crabtree. That's a direct snap to Michael Crabtree. And, hey, ABC Tuesday. Herbie, you got me hooked on this thing, okay? You told me. I tell you, Dancing with the Stars, that's a fun show, and it's all new Monday. And I can't believe that Warren Sapp is still alive and looking pretty good.
He's
so you football fans. And, you know, the great thing, he doesn't talk. Well, see, all he does is dance, and that's when he's at his best.
He's got a little personality that everybody seems to have enjoyed.
You think he'll be upset with me? Yeah. All right, Batch and Shannon Woods are in there now. Oh, that could have been picked up on a little bit of a deflection there. That was Franks coming in. Dominique.
You know, the last time
there's Venables.
Texas Tech had the ball, Graham Harrell had all kinds of time to throw, and it eventually led to a touchdown. Well, now this time comes out these first few times, and there is a lot of pressure. Brent Venables saying enough of that. We don't care that it's 52-14. Let's try to get after this guy.
I'm still thinking about Mangino trying to sleep and Leach watching Howard Stern. Third down and 13. Slips away, but in deep trouble. Yeah. You know, he's got a strong arm.
He does.
You know, he launched that one out of bounds pretty good, Irving.
You want me to give some analysis on the throw out of bounds by Graham Harrell?
Beal was coming up. He was applying the heat. And, Crabtree was in the general vicinity. And
pressure again.
McClure checks out. Well, you know, just one of those nights for the Red Raiders. They've still got a game left. They can maintain position with a three-way tie, but I don't think they're going to have much style points down the stretch.
If this lead holds on, as dominating as this is, it's going to become a Texas-Oklahoma discussion, regardless if it's a three-way tie or not.
Right? Broyles, Ryan Broyles. And, Herbie, I want to remind everybody about Monday night. Aaron Rodgers doing pretty good as Brett Favre's replacement. And how about Drew Brees' old coach, Joe Tiller, in Purdue today? But anyway, that's the Monday nighter. Going to be Green Bay and the Saints. And, of course, Monday Night Countdown will start it all at 7 Eastern time. And the Saints won the last game, 34-27 back in 2006. What do you think about Aaron Rodgers? What did you think about him when he came out of Cal?
I loved him. I liked him actually better than Alex Smith that year. But he's finally getting his chance. He's handled the pressure very well, I think.
There's another penalty flag comes flying on this play. Let's go back to that discussion about Texas and Oklahoma. The three-way tie, folks. Remember this: the BCS rankings will determine.
Number 92, 5-yard penalty to create first down.
Will determine the winner if there's a three-way tie. Now, for it to be a three-way tie, it would have to go this way. Texas Tech would have to beat Baylor, and that will be down in Lubbock next week. Remember, on Thursday night. Now, Thursday night is going to be the Texas A&M rivalry. The Aggies they beat them a couple times in a row, so Texas will be ready for that game. Oklahoma, we would have at Oklahoma City, or I should say up at Stillwater against Oklahoma State. And if they all win, it's a three-way tie, and the BCS rankings decide it. Now, here's the issue. Oklahoma looks really good tonight. Okay, really, really good. They've been coming. But Texas is going to say, well, that's all fine, but let's remember we beat them on a neutral field in Dallas.
That'll be the huge debate. Style points. Oklahoma getting a huge opportunity on stage tonight, on stage now, next Saturday night. And it's going to be style points, and the hot team in the Big 12 is going to be perceived to be Oklahoma because of what they're doing. And Texas is going to say, like you said, hey, we beat them. I find it interesting. Texas needs Oklahoma to beat Oklahoma State for it to be a three-way.
So here's my question. Here's my question. Which of those one-loss teams, if this holds up, will be number 2 come Sunday? Now, the Gators have been red hot. The Horns idle this week. What's your sort of feeling about that?
You know who I think.
Well, you've said Florida all.
I still think Florida's the best team in the country. I just think what I worry about for
you're going to get me in trouble in Austin. I won't be able to get a good table.
What I worry about for Texas is that they went through a 4-game run when they were the story. And because of the way they lost, and all of a sudden they've kind of just disappeared a bit off the radar. And you worry for them, and it needs to continue to be brought up that they did beat Oklahoma head-to-head, and that's going to be their one thing.
Oh, caught beautifully by Johnson. Oh, my.
Catches it with the left hand.
Yes. Yeah. With the injured elbow, they go 66 yards for a touchdown. We can't even talk about the BCS without them scoring a touchdown. Unbelievable here tonight.
Bob Stoops probably wants to show his appreciation for Manny Johnson because of what he's been able to do. It's the first time since the injury he's been able to come back, and there's Bob giving him a big hug to come back and have an impact and make a big play. What I can't believe is his left arm, his left elbow has that big brace, and he brought that football in with his left hand.
Herbie, his first catch of the night. How about that, huh? 66.
Something
misfire, a bad misfire on the extra point. Let us go back to this spectacular catch by number 1. Here he comes. What a grab.
Nice catch. And this is how Sam Bradford gets his numbers. Is he finds the opportunity in a one-on-one situation with his receivers against a defensive back, and he puts a very accurate throw. It's a great catch, but a heck of a throw again by Sam Bradford.
Let's go down below to Lisa.
Hey, Brandon, here's something really interesting about Manny Johnson. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast about how nasty the injury looked a month ago when we saw it on television. I asked him if he had the stomach to even watch, and he says, "Are you kidding? I love gory stuff like that. I watched it at least 15 times." Ridiculous.
I agree. Ridiculous indeed.
Usually you don't hear a guy saying he likes to see his own injury. We're just finishing that point. That's what Texas, the concern you have for them is they're a bit off the radar, and Oklahoma has become the team that everybody's going to be talking about because of the exposure of this game and next week's game.
There's Wall again. He's been busy. Well, let's go back to the one-loss discussion. Texas, of course, lost on the last play.
Yep.
Texas Tech, okay, and there's their top 25 wins. Good resume. Florida lost at home. We can't look past that to Ole Miss, but still good resume. Lots of points lately. Oklahoma up by 11, lost. USC.
Since you asked me the tough question, and I said I'd put Florida at 3, let me ask you, who do you put ahead?
I don't have
Florida or Oklahoma?
I don't have a vote.
Okay.
You're my voter, okay? You do all that.
You
do the
help
heavy
me
lifting.
vote. How should I vote? Oklahoma and Texas. I've been voting Texas ahead of Oklahoma because they beat them head-to-head.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that fair?
If you continue that, I would.
Could you live with that?
I can live with that. I can live with that discussion. However, I will tell you that this performance against Texas Tech, certainly it's in norm, a little bit different. And let us not forget that the Longhorns would be undefeated, and I feel for that little defensive back on that pop-up before the Crabtree catch. Okay, he should have had the interception, the lollipop, right?
Blake Gideon was like a little feather.
I was trying to protect
I know.
him.
I love. He's going to have a great career.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll learn from this, and he's had a heck of a year. But yeah, you're right. If he makes that catch,
they win, and they win.
End of story. End of story.
But hey, it counts, doesn't it? Yep. There's what Crabtree has done. Only 3 catches for 43 yards, so they've really shut him down. They've shut Graham Harrell. That's been just a great performance by Oklahoma. Short of the first down. Lewis. Boy, this secondary, these linebackers have played well for Venables tonight. If there's any coach on this field who has improved his resume, there he is. Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma. And we'll return after this message and word from our ABC stations. .72 points on the board, but 58 of them have been scored by Oklahoma. A 7-point favorite coming in here tonight. Now it is 4th down and 1 for the Red Raiders. Miss here, and it'll be a very short field for the Sooners. Gonna bring the end around. He won't get there. Sooners football.
Mike Leach just trying to go into his bag of tricks. End around here to the speedster, Edward Britton, and even this, the Sooners have sniffed out. This defense, again, well prepared, playing aggressively, playing violently in the way they're chasing this ball down. Brent Venables has to be as ecstatic with the way this group has performed tonight.
And there was a good shot of Bobby Jack Wright with him. Now, Bobby Jack Wright is one of Stoops' best recruiters. And worked down at Texas, knows Texas inside and out, and works with the secondary here alongside Venables. 2 outstanding coaches. Madhu will check in as the running back, and they want to give Murray a chance.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, how about this, Herbie? An American Music Awards lineup bigger than this, all right? Jimmy Kimmel is going to be hosting it tomorrow. It's at 7, 6 Central. Beyonce, Kanye West, Coldplay,
come on, babe.
Alicia. Huh? How's that? Huh?
I mean,
where's my Cowboys? Where's my Cowboys?
All those names on there, the one name you have to know for me is Beyonce.
All All right, because your wife won't let you in.
No,
huh?
I'm just saying.
All right, wait, give me her best song. What does she do? Huh? Does she pick it? Does she pick it now? Now Lisa's upset with me.
Her best song is
Come
just
on.
dancing.
Come on now, Brent.
Lisa.
Beyonce.
Lisa,
Brent,
Beyonce.
I know Kenny Chesney. You've got to know Beyonce.
All right. All right.
Woo! Beyonce's kicking it tomorrow night.
She's going to be a winner?
Oh, she's a winner no matter what she does.
Okay.
She's a winner.
Okay. So I know what you'll be.
The winner. Single ladies, you didn't see her perform last week on SNL?
No.
It was strong. It was strong. It was about as impressive as
I was
the
working
Oklahoma
on my 3D, but
oh, mercy.
Trying to figure out where we're going next week, and now we know. Huh?
That's right.
We're going to be in Stillwater, Kirk Herbstreit. And Lisa, you're invited to join us. We've got Oklahoma and Oklahoma State up at Boone Pickens Stadium.
Oh, I can't wait. Be fun to see the Sooners away from Norman.
Yeah.
See if they can take the same attitude on the road. You're beautiful.
Second down and 10. They're going to come back with a screen themselves. Broyles end zone. Wow. What a performance by the Sooners.
Hey, you got one team still out there playing 100 miles an hour in the red, and then you have the Texas Tech defense right now. It's just beaten down mentally and physically. Great effort here by Broyles. Boy, they've gotten everybody involved with this Oklahoma offense tonight.
Right play. You know me.
A 60-point explosion by the Sooners. I got one for you, Herbie. What about the possibility of an Oklahoma-Texas rematch in the Orange Bowl?
I would love that. Can you figure out a way to get that
We better talk to Alabama and
That's what I was
Florida.
going to say about the Gators. Well, a reminder to stay tuned after the game for your late local news over many of these ABC stations, except on the West Coast. And, of course, over on ESPN, you can check out SportsCenter, and they'll have some of the BCS implications. And they'll tell you about Syracuse coming back to upset Notre Dame, and Oregon State beating Arizona and on track to play Penn State. Penn State and Oregon State in the Rose Bowl. Very much within the realm of possible, and of course that would send USC probably to a BCS bowl as a wild card, bobbled by Wall and out of the back of the end zone. So it comes out on the 20 as we take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. And you look at the two, obviously Bradford the bigger night, and now with the 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he will emerge out of this game with the upper hand now over Graham Harrell for the Heisman Trophy discussion. I still think the quarterback out of Austin, Texas, Colt McCoy, is not only right in the debate, I think it's he and Sam Bradford right there together. I think Tebow's back in the case. Yeah, he sure is. Especially the way the Big 12 South are going to split the votes. Exactly. Crabtree cuts back out to the right, and he is run down. Alexander, did you see Alexander move, number 84, coming off that line? That's why they like his upside. He is a future star, and it's been so important for him to develop. He's only a freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I thought, how did he get out of the way of LSU? But I guess they weren't on him heavy. Auburn actually wanted him, but with the injuries to Austin English and also to Allen Davis, his ability to come on here for the Sooners has been very important. Beal is through on Harrell, incomplete. Jeremy Beal had him wrapped up, and there's a penalty flag. The bottom line to me, Texas Tech has been exposed in the trenches on both sides of the ball tonight against Oklahoma.
Now, he said, that's how you throw a flag up in the air. See, he say, you got to have it like this.
Maybe he threw it on his buddy there.
That's one of the funnier things I've seen tonight, and I've seen a few.
There are 2 fouls by the offense. Personal foul, hands to face, number 74. That penalties decline. Intentional grounding. Number 6. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
So Beal had him wrapped up.
How about the effort right now from Oklahoma's defense? They're up 51 points here in the 4th quarter, and they're flying around like it's a 3-point game. They're tired of hearing about Texas Tech.
Oklahoma State, get ready. From the end zone, going deep middle, incomplete. What a blow by Nick Harris. Nick Harris, folks, got a chance to play safety at that next level if his speed is as good as it has to be. He's a big-time hitter.
Both safeties emerge here. Lindy Holmes and Nick Harris. To the left is Holmes, and there's Harris. Enter at your own risk when you come to the middle of this Sooner defense. Ball up in the air, hanging. Britton just focused on catching the football, knowing that Holmes and Harris might eventually get there, but they separated him from the football. Glad to see him walk away from that hit.
Personal foul. Defense, number 5. Unnecessary contact to a defenseless receiver. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
I'm not. Did you?
I didn't.
Was it helmet?
I'm looking at that.
Helmet
it wasn't helmet to helmet. He said defenseless
got him in the
receiver.
shoulder, didn't he?
Holmes makes the first hit to the bottom. Second guy in is Harris. That's a bad call. I mean, I appreciate him trying to protect the receivers,
I do too.
But I didn't think that was very much.
That's a good point, Herbie. Protecting him. Woods and Batch. 13 minutes left. And that's Todd Walker's first reception. He's a junior. It'll be a long trip home to Lubbock. But they've got Baylor next week.
And it's a shame that more than likely the BCS can only select 2 of the 3 from the Big 12 as far as the teams that are in the debate about who could potentially go to a BCS bowl game.
Complete. And that's a 1st and 10. And that was Lewis coming over the. Now let's check that. That was Leon, wasn't it? That was 19. And, you know,
there is
a scenario that 3 of them could make it, but it would require Missouri to win the championship. That would be a great game.
Oh, yeah.
And for the loser to still be ranked number 2.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That'd be tough. It'd be tough to see that.
Yeah. And then 13 to make it at large, Texas or Oklahoma. So there is a way.
Yep.
But you're right. It's improbable. Coming back to the running back Woods for a 1st down.
You know, that's the funny thing. This huge debate about who will emerge from the Big 12 South to get into the championship game. It's almost like when you talk to people, it's a foregone conclusion. Right. Whoever gets into the championship game, oh, they're a given. They're in the national championship. It's like, whoa, wait a second. Chase Daniel and the Tigers, they're still playing football this year, right? It's going to be a game in Kansas City in a few weeks.
Batch alongside Harrell. Firing, and the linebacker not giving him much daylight, but Swindle picks up the 1st down. There's the young man, Lindy Holmes, making the snap. Well, there's another one-loss team that's having a hard time climbing up the charts, and that, of course, is USC. As Harrell launches one for the ends. Crabtree goes high in the air, and it's incomplete. I think he was out of the end zone. I think that they ruled that Nick Harris. And what an athletic play that was anyway. Take a look. Watch number 5 come in over the top now.
Off the tip pass. 5 comes in late. Harris, he's right there, catches the foot. Wow.
If he'd have been able to get
full
that foot
speed
down,
too. Look at this.
Watch number 5 now.
Boy, that right foot looked like it might have been down. Unless again he was bobbling the football.
Might have stepped on the body.
Yeah, it could have been.
You know.
What a great, as you said, an athletic move there. He was running full speed to hold that football in.
Fumble. That fumble was forced by Jeremy Beal, number 44. Jeremy Beal was coming in. Got a hand on a football, forced the fumble. Oklahoma ball up 65-14, and Harrell shaken up.
Remember this Texas Tech offensive line only allowing 5 sacks the whole year. Tonight, 3 against Oklahoma.
What a play by Jeremy Beal. What a performance by this OU defense here tonight.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. The all-new Dodge Ram. Never back down from a challenge. Verizon Wireless. And Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
Indeed, played like a champion here today. And the backup quarterback, Joy Halsley, has come in. Chris Brown is the running back. So Sam Bradford's night is done. And here is Halsley now, and he completes his first pass of the game as he comes on in, and he hits Quentin Chaney. So there is the young man. He's a senior from Huntington Beach, California.
Of course, last year he had to step in for Sam Bradford, who was injured early in the game on the 4th play. It almost led the Sooners back to a victory after they were down early in that game.
Brown spinning for about 7 yards on that. You know, Herbie, there are so many impressive statistics, and it was true of both these teams, but I couldn't help but look at this one. Oklahoma, and I'm counting tonight now, folks. Oklahoma this year has been into the red zone 62 times, okay? They've scored 56 touchdowns, okay? They're 6 for 6 tonight getting into the red zone, all touchdowns. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean that's on pace to be one of the best ever efforts inside the 20-yard line. Sam Bradford's night is over. 4 touchdowns, 42 now on the year. See, he tied the school record. You would think he'll set the school record next week. The game in Stillwater, very solid performance, but the game, the story has been the Oklahoma offensive line helping Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray, Chris Brown and company out.
Here is Brown, and we'll be up there Saturday night football. It'll be Oklahoma State, and there's Graham Harrell. That's unfortunate. It looks like he's in pain there. Looks like they're tending to what, left ankle or foot. It almost looks like it's down to the foot area, but here's Brown battling just short of another first down with 9:14. Stoops and the Sooners just trying to bring the clock down.
We've talked a lot about Brent Venables tonight. Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator, you mentioned how he spent some time at Northwestern with Randy Walker. He's really paid his dues as an assistant, done a great job here for Bob Stoops as an offensive coordinator calling plays. And in my opinion, and I think you agree, as much as people are talking about Brent Venables getting his chance to become a head coach, I think Kevin Wilson, the way he is a complete coach, not just an offensive coach, a complete coach. He manages people well. I think people more than likely this season, I'm sure, will come in to talk to Kevin Wilson.
Yeah, the late Randy Walker brought him to Northwestern from Miami of Ohio.
Yep.
And they studied. The team wasn't very good, okay? They had to find a way to move the football. And Kevin was telling me that really is how he and Randy settled on the sort of up-tempo spread offense with the quarterback checking over the sideline. He said we took a lot of stuff from different people. Clemson was using part of it, and yeah, nice job, guys, he says down there, and indeed it is. We've got a timeout here, 8:27, and the Sooners are whipping Texas Tech. Aerial coverage for tonight's game, courtesy of the Outback Steakhouse Airship Bloomin' Onion 1. The Bloomin' Onion 1 airship, fan favorite every week on ABC, ESPN college football broadcasts. Well, next week, come along to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Oklahoma State hosting Oklahoma. The Bedlam game, and wouldn't the Cowboys dearly love to have an upset in that huge rivalry game?
Well, that game is always competitive, no matter where it's played, but especially when it's played in Stillwater.
And the Cowboys better get ready. A couple pretty good running backs headed their way here, Herbie.
Well, we've got 4 great running backs playing. Murray and Brown, huge games tonight, again led by that offensive line. And how about next week? Murray, Brown, Tostin at Oklahoma State, and of course Kendall Hunter. So we're going to have 4 great tailbacks.
I was watching his tape again this week, getting ready for that game. Zach Robinson, Gundy brothers will be on opposite sidelines. We got lots of storylines.
It's a nasty rivalry.
I'm sure Boone himself will be there for that game. There's a first down. So it's well, it looks like JR, the wrestling announcer down there on the sideline. That's him. That is him in the cowboy hat right there. Now that's JR. Now he's got a wrestling assignment tomorrow, and normally he's on duty the night before. But he told him, I'm gonna be at the game tonight. Yeah. He owns barbecue restaurants around here, around Oklahoma City, and huge Sooner fan. And there he is. Now he knows a good guy from a bad guy when he sees one. And there, you know, Brian Bosworth was here. I got his autograph.
Did you?
Yeah, over at Sooner Legends Inn, where we're staying.
Yeah.
And
are you in his room?
No, I'm in Jamar Brown's room. And Stoop said that was good. Pro Bowl second year. You know.
That's right.
And there's the Boz right there. There's Brian Bosworth. Gave me and there he was. We had him in inside of the hotel, signing autographs. Boy, I did some big games with him.
I bet.
I did some Miami battles with Oklahoma and Miami. Wow. Fierce. That's the Boz's son right there, and it was good to see him.
Always had those funky haircuts.
Yeah, he's toned down a little bit now. Yeah. Second down and 9. Halsley out of bounds at about the 10. Now, you don't suppose Oklahoma's going to hang a 70 on these guys, huh? You've got to be kidding me.
It's feeling it. Remember, style points matter, my friends, when it comes to the BCS. A lot of people watching.
A lot of style points tonight for OU. Let me tell you.
No doubt.
There was a ton of style points.
The only thing that's going to stop the Sooners is that clock. They're just going to keep going.
Well, here's a third down now. And, of course, the question is, what does Stoops do on 4th down if they don't running down and going to call timeout. Halsley going to go on over the sideline. There's Josh Heupel waiting for him. Well, big game Bob again, huh? He struggled a little bit in some of those BCS bowl games lately, but
here in Norman, 60-2, and I think we got another good example of why he is so tough here.
Well, here's your BCS standings, and I really do wonder who's going to jump to number 2. Texas, or does Oklahoma jump both of them with this performance? And the Trojans have just got to be saying, hey, yo-ho, can't we get any respect in the all-state BCS standings? But if Oregon State goes to the Rose Bowl, and I will tell you, in reading the Los Angeles Times over the last few weeks, I really get the impression that USC, and certainly more their fans and the writers, do not want to play the Big Ten again in the Rose Bowl. They want USC to go out and play at Texas, play in Oklahoma, play at Florida, play somebody, and even if it's not the Orange Bowl, they want to go to one of the BCS bowls and meet somebody else from a different conference. And you know what? The Big Ten might be happy with
With the way Oregon State's playing right now, they're going to get that chance, it looks like.
Inside the 5-yard line.
You can see a U.S.
I wonder, the President-elect, Barack Obama, we should ask him who he likes for number 2.
Yeah, can we put a call
He's interested in college football.
I know he is.
We know that.
He could help us out. We're going to need some help trying to figure out how to separate these teams.
Done a great job, hasn't he, Bob Stoops, here in 10 years at Oklahoma? Just think of how far down that program had gone. Back of the end zone, incomplete. It was thrown to Iglesias. Gundy. Last game was 70+. That was against North Texas.
He had that reputation early in his career. Big game, Bob, because they performed so well. And then people have taken shots because of the loss to LSU in a national title, USC in a national title, and then, of course, to Boise State in West Virginia. And when they matched up with USC that night and it got out of hand, it was about like this, but the other way. That was just a great USC football team. What happened against West Virginia and Boise, you can't make an excuse for it, but I think they just didn't necessarily respect and anticipate maybe how good those teams might be that night. But when you play them here and you come in and you're ranked number 2 and they're at number 5, you're gonna get the fastball.
And the Red Raiders got the fastball, and from the blimp out, tried to kick the pylon as he was stepping out of bounds.
Well, here's a good thing. Does he go for this? Everybody okay?
Yeah, everybody's kind of smiling down there. Yeah, he took one for the team.
4th down.
All right.
All righty. Trying to get to 70 here.
Timeout.
It's a little different when 14's not under center out there with the no huddle. He gets spoiled.
Yeah. Oh, Stoops is in trouble. He's down to only one timeout. $85,646, a new stadium record here. And now we're about to find out if they're going to put a 70 up on the Red Raiders. 4th down and goal. Going to run for it, banging close to the end zone, and didn't get it. So it'll be Red Raider football. Swindle's had a big night, Herbie. He caught 4 balls for 50 yards, and
I guess we could call that a big. We could call it a big night.
Well, you search for certain things.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Ever.
Let's go down below to Lisa.
Well, Brent, as you can see, Graham Harrell coming back onto the field despite the score. They worked on him that entire time that he was over on the sideline. His left foot, he tried to throw the ball a few times, and it seems like he is having trouble planting on that left foot, but he's playing anyway, Brett.
Thank you very much. He's a gamer. Down 65-14. They'll run Batch out of there. Batch, leading runner and receiver tonight for the Red Raiders.
Just thinking about that game next week with Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy has an ability to coach in these kind of rivalry games where he'll be ready, especially playing Oklahoma at home. That'll be a physical football game next week.
That's Craig James's son.
Yep.
Out to the 27th hit, making his first catch of the night, and it's Adam James, redshirt freshman. So, folks, a reminder: Beyonce, Jimmy Kimmel will host the American Music Awards live Sunday, November 23rd. Is that better?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me a rematch with that gang. I know I was awful the first time. Here's Harrell. Incomplete. The crowd wants 70. I could tell the ones who are still, a lot of folks are leaving right now. file their way out. So a lot of these fans go back. How about my friend P.J. Carlissimo
just getting
being
started.
axed last night?
He's out of here.
Wow.
What was that about?
Tough new owner stole that team from Seattle.
How many games have they played?
What are they, about 1-13 or 14? Huh? Something like that. Shannon Woods. Here's Crabtree.
You a big NBA guy?
Well, yeah, I've always, honestly, I'm like a lot of fans. I really get interested when the playoffs start.
So that's what
I kind of from afar, I kind of pay a little attention to what's going on here.
Around July 4th is usually when I get going with the NBA. NBA Finals.
Yeah, they do go late into the summer.
They do.
When they pushed it out of the sweeps month into June, they seem to get later and later and later. So it's 3rd down and 6. Showing a little pressure here with the backups. Dropped, incomplete. Yeah, this has been such a disappointing performance for the Red Raiders in this game.
What it does is, truthfully, it knocks it. Even if they went out and Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, and there's a 3-way tie. It's really, because of this performance, it'll knock them out of the BCS discussion about which of the 3 will be higher ranked. They'll drop out, and it becomes a Texas and Oklahoma discussion.
I would think that Utah might jump past Texas Tech because of the performance. But we'll have to see, because you got computers and you got the Harris Poll guys and you got the coaches. Coaches look at things a little bit differently sometimes. The Red Raiders with a 4th and 6. They're 1 of 4 on 4th down. Let me take you through some nice images, some stories. A big win for Ohio State, and I'm sure that Rich Rodriguez and the Wolverines couldn't wait for this season to be over and see if they can regroup. So the Buckeyes end the season on a high note. Regular season. Penn State clinching a Rose Bowl bid with a big win over Michigan State. And here, Billy Bonnell, our producer, extremely happy as his Orange shocks Notre Dame. Adrian Dantley's son throws the winning touchdown pass, and there's your Utes. 12-0 and headed for a BCS Bowl down there, my friend. And one other, the best story of the day.
By far.
Myron Rolle, defensive back for the Florida State Seminoles, awarded a Rhodes Scholarship, and I believe he got to the game at halftime on a private plane. Wasn't that the story that Lisa had last week when we were down in Tallahassee? And the Seminoles with a big game coming up against Florida.
Yeah. At home.
You bet. And that's another one of those rivalry games.
By Tech dropping out of that discussion, Brent, you know what happens to them for a bowl opportunity? Think about this morning when they woke up. They're thinking about BCS. They're thinking about national championship. And now they're thinking about Holiday or Cotton.
Yeah.
More than likely.
You're right. I was thinking about that.
You're going to have Texas or Oklahoma, Missouri, if they're able to pull off a shocker in the Big 12 championship game, getting to the BCS, and Texas Tech will be left out. Big difference there.
Yeah, very disappointing, I'm sure, for everyone involved with the Red Raider program. They've been such a wonderful sort of Cinderella story all season long, and they were so good for us. And it was so much fun actually being in Lubbock. I really enjoyed going.
It was awesome.
It's 4th and 6 now, and Tech is 1 of 4 on 4th down here tonight. Going again. Now Crabtree picks up another one. So it'll be 1st down with 3 minutes to go here for the Red Raiders. You know what else is really sad? Really sad that Donald Trump's not going to get another game ball.
Yeah,
really. Aren't you guys all crying about that one?
Yeah, that's not good.
2:45.
He was proud of himself, wasn't he? That prediction.
Not hard to do with him up in the air and incomplete. And Robinson was applying some pressure. It is still, this aside, it has been a great season for Mike Leach, and he's been a terrific story. There you can see just the difference when you go up against Bob Stoops. You know that little piece of paper we always see with his, he's got that little piece of paper that he always goes, and you see him with the pen during the game, and you think that's his play chart in that. Venable says that what he is, he checks off the plays as he calls them, so he knows how many times he's only got about 7 or 8 plays, and he checks them off. And as to how many times he's used them, and says he doesn't want to insult any play. And I know it's terribly disappointing for Mike here tonight, but he really has been a wonderful story and person to deal with this year. And thanks to all the people down there, Texas Tech and Lubbock, and for Oklahoma and Stoops. They go on to the next big game, and that'll be next Saturday night on ABC, 8 Eastern, against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. And the Sooners hope to keep on driving, hope to keep on winning and picking up brownie points. And if they finish ahead, if they get a 3-way tie, the important thing is for Texas Tech to regroup against Baylor. That Baylor, they go home and they hang their heads and they don't come back. You get a 2-way tie in the Big 12. Texas is going to the championship game because they got the tiebreaker.
That's right.
So Oklahoma, it better shake some hands here and say, you fellas regroup and play better football down there in Lubbock next week. And here comes Woods. Woods is down to the 35-yard line. And you think about the top 5 and the remaining schedule. There you see Alabama, the Iron Bowl. They've lost 6 straight to Auburn. Then they have to go into Atlanta to play Florida SEC championship. Texas Tech got the Baylor game. We told you about that. Texas with the Aggies. Florida goes to Florida State, Tallahassee. Then Alabama in the SEC. Oklahoma would go to Oklahoma State. And we'll have to see who plays Missouri for the Big 12 championship. And there is Morrison underneath with another completion. The final seconds tick away. A big win, folks, for the Sooners. You had to be impressed with how they played tonight, how they jumped out on top and never looked back.
Yeah, not only did they win this game, they made a statement. I mean, they took advantage of an opportunity, and now it's to the next phase next week against Oklahoma State.
Complete, and we've got a touchdown for the Red Raiders. Detron Lewis. So we go into the 80s, the point total, but 65 of them put up by the Sooners.
I think Texas Tech fans would have liked to have seen more of this earlier in the game, but nonetheless, Detron Lewis, Mike Leach feels that he could become their next great receiver here. Kind of gets overshadowed because of all the talk and all the love for Michael Crabtree.
99 yards. Remember, they left that ball back on the 1-yard line. 12 plays, 4.5 minutes. Our Chevrolet players of the game: Baron Batch, the running back, 47 rushing and 32 receiving. Sam Bradford threw for 304 yards and 4 touchdowns in a win. And in recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Brett, you have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you and the Herb Street family and all those wonderful children of yours. Absolutely. See you in Stillwater.
Yep.
The price of Boone Pickens gasoline has gone down. It'll cost less to drive from the Oklahoma City airport. So there's our Big 12 standings now. 3-way tie right now. 6-1. Texas Tech, Texas, and Oklahoma.
I think it's funny how Oklahoma needs to pull for Tech. Texas needs to pull for Oklahoma. And Oklahoma has to beat Oklahoma State. Because you need a 3-way tie. Because like you said, if you're Oklahoma and it's you against Texas, you're out of the discussion.
In 2 weeks, we'll be at the Big 12 championship game. That's in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. Missouri has already locked up the North. They await the decision, and it's probably, well, we'll have to wait and see what Texas Tech does against Baylor. They're going to have to regroup now.
Yeah.
They'll be favored at home next week, and I'm sure they'll get support from their home fans. Onside kick Did it go 10 yards? I don't think it went 10 yards, but we'll let the officials
but it was touched.
Sort that out.
It was touched by a Sooner.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did the Sooner touch it?
Yeah.
There, Harrell's trotting out.
Going down 44. Still fighting. Like Clapp, the fullback, got his hand on it.
There was no question.
McBath.
It's
kind of a clever way. You see that? How they have
McBath
two
was
kickers at the same time, making it look like they're going to kick the ball. Pretty good strategy.
Got to get the other lineman. Yeah, one of the big guys was. That pretty much sums up your night, doesn't it? Up and off to Woods, the running back, and that's going to do it. Well, Bob Stoops said he can tell what Mike Leach is going to call, and he proved it here tonight. And now his former assistant shake hands. Still good friends. Let's go down below to Lisa.
Well, Coach, 65-21. Was this what you were expecting?
Well, you know, we've played these guys a lot, and we haven't been in shootouts. I know everyone talks about that, but that hasn't been the case when we've played them. So I want to say it in a humble, good way. We did expect to play well or for it not to be a shootout.
Now, you told us yesterday, and Brent just said it, that no secrets between these two teams. You knew what they were going to be calling, but how were you able to make it look so easy on offense?
Well, it wasn't easy. They're a great team. They really are. Mike does a great job offensively. Our guys really played well, really disciplined. We covered well, and you know, we were in the right position, and things are starting to gel.
And we saw Texas Tech play the last couple of weeks. We saw how powerful their offense is. How was your defense able to be so dominant? I know you said that you played well against them, but we've seen these guys play. How were you able to be so dominant?
Again, I got tremendous respect for Tech and Mike and what they do. We have, for the most part, through the years, have really played them well. We understand. Our guys tackle in space. We get good pressure. And our guys cover well. And so, again, it's just fundamental. We didn't do anything fancy, just our normal stuff.
65 points on the board. What message did you send with that?
Well, we're productive offensively. Love the way we ran the ball. Sam Bradford, again, is just out of this world. The guy's incredible.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Brent.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. Again, the Sooners roll 65-21 over previously unbeaten Texas Tech. Next Saturday now, we'll be in Stillwater, Oklahoma for number 5, Oklahoma, versus number 12, Oklahoma State, and that 5 will change for Oklahoma. It'll be Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines at 8 p.m. Eastern next Saturday night. So for Lisa Salters and Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Brent Musburger, saying so long from Norman, and thanks for watching ESPN on ABC.
This has been a special presentation of ESPN on ABC.